feel-good Mets, the last ones to the party, are simply feeling no heat. In a New York minute in the ninth, Fonzie slam makes it 8-4. The unit is unplugged, and the D-backs are backed into a corner. But in Game 2, the Mets' October Magic took a night off, thanks to the guts of Todd Stoudemire and the wood of Steve Finley. 7-1 Arizona and an eagerly awaited cross-country flight. New York, just like I pictured it. And in Game 3, it was the Mets who turned venomous. A 6-spot in the 6th salted it away. When the carnage ended, it was 9-2. The D-backs are peering over the edge of the Grand Canyon, while the Mets are one away from singing, "Excuse me while I kiss the sky." You gotta believe those familiar signs are out again. Can the Diamondbacks hold on, or can the Mets close them out? That's what the fans have come to see. Game 4 of the National League Division Series. The Mets hosting the Diamondbacks, leading 2-1. Hello once again, everybody. I'm Chris Berman. So glad you could be with us here. Afternoon fall baseball in New York. It's turned out to be a very pleasant day. Temperatures maybe at 70 degrees, and will it be pleasant for the New York Mets and their fans? A week ago at this time, they were just hoping to get in the postseason. And now, in the span of 20 hours here in the Big Apple, they can go from a 1-1 tie in the series to a 3-1 win and move on to the next round, the National League Championship Series. Working with me, as always, is Ray Knight. And Ray, they have Al Leiter on the mound, who pitched perhaps the best game all year by the Mets. That 2-hit performance at Cincinnati, complete game, getting him into the postseason. They've got the Diamondbacks reeling. They've got the crowd on their side. Momentum was a little bobble down. They missed their Met. You wouldn't fool me. Tough draw for the Diamondbacks.
It's a tough draw for the Diamondbacks, but I think this is a great matchup for them. This year they had the best records in all of baseball against left-handed pitching. They also are a dead red fastball hitting ball club. Al Leiter throws almost everything hard. Al Leiter does not hold runners on well, does not fill his position extremely well. So if he's not on, if he walks a lot of people, these guys have very good eyes. They can drive in a lot of runs and hang up some crooked numbers. So I'm not so sure. And then they're staring in the eyes of Randy Johnson if they don't win this game. So I think there's a lot of pressure right here on the Mets today to close this thing out.
Well, who they already beat once, however, but they would like not to try it again. Now, Buck Showalter, as we go down to our Buck Martinez, has been very clear all along. I am not pitching Randy Johnson until Game 5, especially after 138 pitchers in Game 1. But for the fan out there, Buck, should they be surprised that they don't go down 2-1 to the big unit?
Well, I don't think so. I think the big thing about what Buck Showalter has said all throughout this series is the fact, why do you use Randy Johnson when he's pitching on 3 days rest? I have to have somebody else pitch well, and today, of course, that's Brian Anderson. And the thing about Brian Anderson, this club has a lot of confidence in Anderson. He's not lost since the 19th of July. He's pitching as well as anybody on their staff right now. He has postseason experience. In '97, he pitched in the postseason championship with the Indians. He's got experience. He understands the significance. And the Diamondbacks as a team are confident that Brian Anderson can force a Game 5.
Well, one thing, Buck, that the Diamondbacks have going for them is that Mike Piazza will not be catching tonight. This afternoon, it's Todd Pratt. Again, that thumb's still badly inflamed. He took some batting practice. Only in a dire emergency would he pinch hit, which means we're not going to see Mike Piazza this afternoon. But it didn't hurt the Mets last night. They won it 9-2. Can Al Leiter close the deal? Brian Anderson goes for Arizona. The Mets dreaming about moving on. The Diamondbacks want to go home tied at 2.
Hi, I'm Doug Flutie, pro football player and father of an autistic child. I started the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation to help less fortunate families of autistic children get the support they need. Here's a way you can help. Just dial 1010-220. All calls up to 20 minutes are only 99 cents, and 1010-220 will make a donation to the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation every time you use it. So dial 1010-220, get up to 20 minutes for only 99 cents, and help some great kids at the same time. It's a win-win situation.
Stop assuming that just because you're hugging one of these, you can't have a car that was made for hugging these. Alero, with the road-hugging active response system. Start feeling connected. Alero by Oldsmobile. start something.
This is life. This is getting every mile you can out of life. And this is how you get there. Kelly Safari radials are engineered for long mileage. Of course, that's no guarantee you'll live harder or go farther. Just an invitation.
We don't make the car, we make it more colorful. We don't make a lot of the products you buy, we make a lot of the products you buy better. BASF.
I will never let good interfere with great.
I will do more than what's expected.
I will not always have the solution, but I will always find it.
Я работаю в банке JP Morgan.
I work for JP Morgan.
I work for JP Morgan.
ESPN's coverage of the divisional playoffs is brought to you by AT&T. It's all within your reach. And by Quaker State, for protection beyond 3,000 miles under any driving conditions.
Welcome to Shea Stadium, where 4 times in their history the Mets have had a chance to close out a series in the postseason, and they have done it all 4 times. A hero's welcome last night and a hero's welcome this afternoon. And Ray, you know the feeling. These fans can really kind of pep you up and get make even you a 4-3 track roadster, huh?
I don't know about 4-3, but they are a big part of this ball club, a big part of this organization, and a big part of winning ball games when the ball games are in balance, especially for the home team. I don't think it really bothers the oppositional team, but they can really get you going.
Buck Showalter certainly knows the crowds in New York, having managed the Yankees in the postseason in '95 as a wild card team. 35-game turnaround this year for the Arizona Diamondbacks, the most in the history of baseball. And Buck's Pepsi lineup is the lineup that won against the lefty Kenny Rogers in Game 2, 7-1. So it feels good about this one. Tony Womack, a mere 1 for 13. He's at shortstop in this lineup, leading off, of course. Jay Bell, 3 for 12, hitting second. Luis Gonzalez had a pair of hits in the opener and hitless the last 2 games. Matt Williams was hitless in Game 1, but has come on to go 5 for 12 in Games 2 and 3 now. Greg Colburn, who contributed at first base, hitting 5th. Steve Finley, 4 for 9 with 5 ribbies in Game 2, hitting 6th. Bernard Innocent until proven guilty, the one-time Met in right field. Kelly Stinnett has caught all 4 games. Brian Anderson to hit 9th against the man who, well, you could say he's pitched the 3 most important games for the New York Mets this year, left-hander Al Leiter.
Boy, he's been the guy that has picked them up when they've been down to stop losing streaks. You see there what he did this year, 3, 13, and 12. The thing that concerns me is those 209 hits and 93 base on balls. That's 300 and some odd runners allowed, and that's when he gets in trouble. What Al Leiter features is a fastball, cutter, slider, slow curveball that he's developed over the years, and a changeup, but pretty much comes right at you. You'll see him establish the fastball on the inside part of the plate, and then try to backdoor that breaking ball.
So behind the plate for the 2nd straight game, Ray, it's Todd Pratt, who's a good defensive catcher.
Boy, I talked to the pitchers on this staff, and they say that he attends all the meetings. He's got a lot of good ideas. He studies hitters real well. They really enjoy throwing to him. Obviously, he's not the offensive threat that Piazza is, but he makes up a big difference back there defensively.
And how about this? His first at-bat as a New York Met was July 4th, 1997. He had a 2-run homer off Al Leiter, then a member of the Florida Marlins, soon to be the world champion Florida Marlins. So turnabout is fair play, and Pratt behind the plate. And we're ready to roll. The Mets infield is outstanding, have yet to make an error in the first 3 games, and Arizona made 3 last night by comparison. Tony Womack, and do they need to get him going, Ray? He leads off. He's played both short, which he's playing this afternoon, in right field. 1 for 13 in the series. They got some big boppers behind them, but they need the speedster aboard. The major league leader in stolen bases. We're underway at Shea Stadium with a late arriving crowd. Not because they're not anxious, because, what a surprise, traffic here in New York.
Well, I think a big key, Chris, is to be patient with Al Leiter. He'll throw 125, 130 pitches a game, and he has a tough time commanding fastball sometimes. I think the key pitch today's game will be the 1-1 pitch. If he gets behind 2-1, he has to come with that fastball right in there. If he's ahead 1-2.
In there for a strike. We should tell you that Jerry Davis is the home plate umpire. Jerry does a good job back there. The veteran Bruce Fremming is at first. Jerry Meals at second. Mike Winters at third. Charlie Williams at left. Rich Riker is the right field umpire. A lot of complaints, grumbling by the Diamondbacks. Riker's job behind the plate last night. Right or wrong, that's how they feel. But they feel good about Davis behind the plate. This is the crew that worked games 1 and 2 in the Houston-Atlanta series. Then the umpiring crews switch. Boy, it's been a maelstrom for Bobby Valentine just when things are going good. We'll explain that in a moment as Womack sends Darryl Hamilton back a long way. But Hamilton in there for his defense. Not necessarily would you put the lefty in against the lefty Anderson. But with Leiter pitching, a fly ball pitcher, Bobby Valentine said, no question, I want Hamilton in center field, and there is one out.
Well, Hamilton takes great routes to the ball. You see him very seldom having to adjust the angle that he has once he sees the ball go up. Here, Al Leiter reacts. It's just a little fly ball out there, big man.
Yeah, but to the little guy, he's going, oh. It is humid, 90% humidity today. I mean, it seems like not an October day, more like not August, but a early September or a late May type of day. So the ball might carry a little better than you might normally think here in New York at this time. This is Jay Bell with a 1-0 pitch by Leiter, and it's 1-1. Bell is 3 for 12, and the subway, one of the way you can get here to Shea Stadium, and those fans wish it got here about 10 minutes before, but they'll be streaming on their way in. Now it's 2-1 to Bell, who has been in these sort of situations earlier in his career with the Pittsburgh Pirates. He says he's been up a game, down a game, facing elimination with the Pirates, so he seemed quite at ease, and the count is 2-2.
Yeah, and Jay Bell chasing the fastball in right there before the game. He said that Al Leiter has always worked him in. Today he was going to try to look for the ball out over the plate. There he chased the ball inside. Another pitch inside. So sometimes you go up there with a game plan, and the pitcher just won't allow you to do it by throwing relentlessly on the inside part of the plate, making pitches in there, and then you get behind 0-2, 1-2, and you have to start hacking at those balls just to try to stay alive and work for a better pitch.
Crowd into it early, as you might expect here in the Apple. Fouls that away and keeps it at 2-2. Bell this year with 38 home runs, the 7th second baseman to hit 30 home runs. The record for second baseman, 42 by Rogers Hornsby and by Davey Johnson. So what a year for him at the plate. A little more power in the first half of the season than the second half. Dangerous, but as you mentioned, he will wait. 112 RBIs out of the second base slot is a bonus I think any manager would take. I know. Inside, the count is full. We mentioned the 3 big games that Leiter pitched. Well, let's look at the pitch here.
We mentioned how Leiter likes to pound him inside. This is the 5th pitch, every one of them inside. Only one of them a soft breaking ball, 2-2. There's a 5th one, 6 pitches, all inside. Just the way Jay Bell expected Al Leiter to do, able to lay off those last 2 and draw a walk.
So he drew a walk. Leiter ended an 8-game losing streak the day after 3 coaches were fired on June 6th when he beat the Yankees and Clements in New York. at Yankee Stadium. And then he ended his 7-game losing streak, winning the middle game of that home series. Seems like about 8 years ago now. That home series about 10 days ago against Atlanta, the Wednesday game on the 29th of September. And then, of course, a gem, the 2-hit, 7-strikeout complete game performance in Cincinnati Monday night as the Mets won 5-0 to enter the postseason. Luis Gonzalez, who roped the ball in Game 1 for a home run and a double, has been hitless since. Looks at strike one. There goes Bell. And Bell is not that fleet of foot. Pratt shows the gun. I think they're trying to catch the Mets napping, but he did not have a great jump, Ray.
He did not have a good jump. You remember he fouled that ball off of his instep on the second pitch on the hard breaking ball down and in. But you see right here, there he goes. He goes in the first move there, but he just doesn't look like he's running real well. Perfect throw here by Pratt. A little up, but easily nailing Jay Bell.
So Arizona gambling, trying to get some runners in scoring position for their big boppers. It fails. And now the count is 1-2 to Gonzalez, who had, what a great year he had this year. 30-game hitting streak, all-star, led the league in hits with 206. But the fans will have none on it.
And I think that's a good move there to try to steal an outlighter early. The last 2 years, 52 out of 60 attempts have been successful. That's over 87%.
Sky to right center. Agbayani and Hamilton there. Agbayani called for it, but Hamilton said, hey, tell you what, big fella, let me handle it. So 2 fly ball outs by Leiter and a gun out by Pratt. Brian Anderson will try and tame the Mets here at Shea.
Remember life in the fast lane?
I do.
First you meet, then you get married, and things slow down.
Yeah, right.
To help you keep up, drive the supercharged Regal GS Sports Sedan. Plenty of room, standard traction control, and the most power in its class. Get up to $35.67 average finance savings with 1.9% APR financing for 60 months on 1999 Regals. Official car of the supercharged family.
Now through Monday at Zales, we're having a diamond sale where you can get up to 50% off and more throughout the store. Like this beautiful 7-carat diamond bracelet for just $9.99. Now through Monday at Zales, or shop online at Zales.com.
Is your dandruff sending the wrong signals? Get Selsun Power. Doctors recommend Selsun Blue. So don't send the wrong signals. Get Selsun Power.
Tonight on ESPN at 7, Georgia, Tennessee, 10, College Game Night, and at 11, Sports Center. On ESPN2 at 7 RPM tonight, at 7:30 NFL Tonight, and at 8, Clemson at NC State. And on ESPN Classic at 6, the 86 Campbell Conference Finals, 8, Behind the Fights, and at 9, College Basketball Classics. Do you have all the ESPN networks?
Nothing doing for the Diamondbacks in the top of the first. Chris Berman, Ray Knight, Buck Martinez, so glad you could be with us. Game 4 of this National League Division Series. And Bobby Valentine, well, said if they didn't make the postseason a week ago, get rid of me. I said that about 2 weeks ago, then all of a sudden they're in it. Then stories come out, Sports Illustrated, and maybe kind of rekindled a little flame or two there in the locker room, although he says there's nothing to it. A couple guys that don't like me probably still don't like me, and the guys that like me still do. The Pepsi lineup, Ricky Henderson, the incomparable one, 5 for 11 in the series. Leads off Edgardo Alfonso, the hero, Game 1, hitting second. John Olerud, 5 for 12 in this series. Been great against lefties. Not the case in the regular season. At third, the young man from Honolulu, Benny Agbayani, hitting fourth. Robin Ventura Highway hitting fifth. Todd Pratt at sixth. Darrell Hamilton, the 7-hole. Ray Ordonez, what a play he made last night on Matt Williams, hitting eighth. Al Leiter hitting ninth against the left-handed, one-time first-round draft pick, Brian Anderson.
6'1", 183 pounds, age 27. Has a terrific move. You see there the 4.57 under an average, 144 hits. Doesn't walk anybody. Comes right at people. Throws his fastball. Great changeup and a slider.
Ricky Henderson uncharacteristically swinging at the first pitch. And one up, one down. Bernard Gilkey makes the play in right field. Ricky made an out here, but now Ricky. Well, this going in, so you see the difference of the leadoff hitters. And well, we said Womack has to get going. Henderson has been going. I'm surprised to see him swing at the first pitch, right?
Well, I think that everybody knows that Brian Anderson comes at you early with a fastball or a slider, and then he tries to get you out with a changeup. So the best pitch you may see against him is the first pitch fastball.
This is Edgardo Alfonzo. Homered in the first inning. The support Al Leiter in that game in Cincinnati, giving them a lead. Of course, homered in the first inning in Arizona and grand slammed in the ninth inning in Arizona the next night for 5 RBIs to give the Mets that exciting 8-4 win.
Well, he's thrown 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and that is vintage Brian Anderson. He comes right at you. He's got great confidence. We had a lot of sound bites with him. Very focused.
4 pitches, 4 strikes. That's something brewing already in Game 4 at Houston. Let's go to the judge, Bill Pito.
All right, Chris, this game can be seen on ESPN. Chipper Jones, who has walked 5 times in the first 3 games of this series. At the plate, 1 on a third, 1 out. Carl Everett, the catch. Andruw Jones tagging. Andruw Jones scoring. And the Braves have the lead, 1-0 in the bottom of the first inning.
All right, Billy, thank you. What a game that was yesterday, Ray, as John Olerud stepped to the plate. But, you know, of all the Braves pitchers, all of them, and of course Millwood, what he did in Game 2, and there's no bigger money pitcher for my money than John Smoltz, the guy on the hill there.
Boy, he relishes that role.
He relishes this role. John Olerud, hey, just give me a lefty in the postseason. Just walk him on in. So Olerud now 6 for 13. Coming off his 2 for 4, I'm sorry, Ray, last night with the 3 ribbies.
Just another fastball. You see it again up, out over the strike zone, right down the middle. Didn't hit it that sharply, a little short on the bat, but always seemingly right in the middle of the baseball. Line drive after line drive.
Think about the spot that this young man, Benny Agbayani, with Piazza sitting last night and now this afternoon, was put in. I mean, he wasn't even on the Mets as they headed north. 30th round draft pick. 27 years of age. And oh, by the way, Game 3 of the postseason series tied 1-1. Why don't you clean up for me tonight, big guy? And he goes 2 for 2. And Bobby Valentine said, Benny always delivers. He was all smiles. He's always in a good mood. What a nice kid. And what a great job for the Mets. Became one of the favorites here, the fans, when he went on a home run binge, as you pointed out in the first 2 games, Ray. You've seen a lot of fastballs to see if we can get around on it. Once they figure that out, okay, let's try something else.
Yeah, they need to throw in fastballs in off the plate. When you lift your front leg this big, you have to get it back down in order to hit. So it's a timing mechanism, but you time everything basically off the fastball, so he hasn't become a good off-speed hitter yet.
Hits this pretty well to left field, but right at Luis Gonzalez makes a few steps, and the Mets drained Olerud. We played 1 here in New York. The big fella, Matt Williams, coming up for Arizona in a scoreless game.
Mom, Dad, if I'm paying rent, I gotta have a better breakfast than this.
Mark.
I know there's some dietary restrictions at the table, but no way.
What would you like, Mark?
Potatoes, sausage, eggs.
Would you like me to serve that to you in a nice warm skillet?
That would be great.
What does this look like? A Holiday Inn?
Want a better breakfast? Try our award-winning Best for Breakfast menu and today's Holiday Inn.
In 16 years, John Elway took over 19,000 snaps. Through it all, he always had good things to say about his offensive line. When asked why he chose to play in Denver, Elway pointed to his lineman and said, "Why Denver? I like being surrounded by mountains."
Expect more from an original. Original Coors, brewed a mile high.
Coors in a yellow can. Now that's original.
With technology unavailable in any other SUV, just how smooth is the ride of the new Land Rover? Technology you'll be comfortable with.
Your Land Rover retailer has something else you'll be comfortable with. Great lease rates on a Discovery.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man in baseball because I just found out that Wendy's Bacon Mushroom Melt is back.
Wendy's delicious bacon mushroom melt.
When you gotta have one, you gotta have one.
If you think all ATVs are created equal, you've never ridden a Yamaha. The new Kodiak 400 Automatic and Big Bear 400 from Yamaha. 'Cause out here, bears rule. Now, for a limited time, get low monthly payments on every Yamaha ATV and a great deal on a winch blower generator with select models.
Everybody out here at Shea. Susan Sarandon, of course. Durham Bulls, of course. Tim Robbins, family, joined the game. I can't believe how nice it is. Ray, I mean, it was 30 degrees the other night when we got back on Thursday night. But this morning was 50, a little rain, a little north of here. And temperatures in the low 70s. A gift, believe me, on this Columbus Day weekend Saturday. Matt Williams leads off. Candidate for MVP. Hitless in the first game, 3 hits in game 2. 2 hits last night, but the big number for Matt Williams, this will be out of play, no RBIs in the postseason.
Yeah, Matty, when we talked to him prior to the ballgame today, said he had great respect for Al Leiter. I said, what does he feature? Fastball, slider, cutter? And he says, Ray, he throws me 6 different pitches. And that's the only guy out there that I talked to that mentioned a fastball that runs away, a high fastball, a cutter, a slider, a big curveball, and a straight changeup that he features to Matt Williams. So
Chopper to his third base opposite, Robin Ventura. And Williams is gone here in the second inning. And Buck Martinez, let's bring you in now. And how does it get a catcher like Todd Pratt, doesn't play much, to gun out the first guy that runs on him in the first inning?
Well, Chris, you always have some doubts whether or not you can make a good throw. You haven't played an awful lot, but look at the throw from Todd Pratt right on the money to Ordonez, and they gunned down Jay Bell, and that's a real big confidence booster. It's a good way for him to start the ball game in the first inning.
Greg Colburn platoons at first base with Rubio Durazo. A straight left-right combination. Of course, Travis Lee began the year at first base, but he slumped, injured ankle, and Durazo was an unbelievable story. And Colburn really contributed in that second game. Whoa! Oh, man. That could have taken prisoners down there because there's not a lot of chance to move here.
adding to what Buck said, as you see what tears a sign.
No, wait a minute. We're going to bill him for that. He ripped our banner. We spend a lot of money on those banners.
New York Mets have stolen 8 bases this series. Arizona have yet to put one on the board. In fact, Ricky himself has 6 stolen bases, and everybody else in postseason, their teams don't have that many. Atlanta has 3, Houston has 2, Cleveland has 2. So Ricky's stealing more bases than all the other teams out there.
He does that in real life anyway.
Yes, he does.
Right?
Yes, he does.
Colburn was aboard 3 or 4 times in that second game and had a bases-loaded walk. Double. 2-2 the pitch from Al Leiter. That'll be foul unless it hits a pebble and goes back.
Well,
which could happen.
Well, this is what the Diamondbacks talked about exclusively, the hitters on the Diamondbacks. Al Leiter likes to work inside, likes to pitch inside, probably as well as any left-hander in the league. He can do it 3 ways, with a straight fastball in there, off the plate about chest high, his hard cutter in there, and then his big looping curveball. You've already seen 3 foul balls off the legs, a couple of balls, 1 ball off of our banner. Very difficult to do anything with that pitch if you keep it fair.
Inside, fisted him and
off of his kneecap. That ball actually fouled off of his kneecap. Check this out. Right there off of his kneecap. That is hard to do, and that just tells you that these balls are 4 or 5 inches inside with a little bit of cut on them. They start on the inside part of the plate, a little bit of cut. The only way to hit that ball solidly is have that bat barrel way out there in front of the plate, and then when you hit it solid, it's going to be fouled by 20 or 30 feet. You got to lay off that pitch, look away against Al Leiter, because he's going to eat you up if you chase those balls inside.
Fouled it away again. We do the 2-2 pitch anew. This is Al Leiter's 5th post-game start. I mean, remember, the start at Cincinnati technically is a regular season statistic, although for all intents and purposes, it was a postseason game. It just doesn't go down that way. And now the count is 3. And so let's put that up again, just to say that, you know, he started Game 7 of the 1997 World Series. So as far as big game atmosphere, he's done this before. Rip but foul.
Hey, Buck, you caught you 17 seasons in big league baseball. A lot of guys work in and out. Tell the people at home what the advantages are of working the ball inside on the inside part of the plate.
Ray, what happens is early on, when you make the hitters conscious of that inside part of the plate, second time through the lineup, they will give you the outer half. So it's important that he's establishing that inside.
Boy, he's coming right at it again. Nobody is safe to... I mean, that ball went back at what? At like a 140-degree angle.
Well, Todd Pratt is well aware of what he needs to do after you look at this, and this is inside, and you see how far out in front he is. Now the outer half is going to become valuable later on in the game.
Little bit too much inside, and a great job by Colburn, fouling off, staying alive, and then knowing when to dive away.
Well, he certainly came inside to Jay Bell. He came inside to Williams. He's come inside to Colburn. He has yet to throw but one pitch really away, and that was to Gonzalez, a left-handed hitter. So he's right now trying to establish what Buck talked about, the inside part of the plate. One interesting stat about Al Leiter is left-handers hit ground balls off of him. Right-handers tend to hit the ball in the air.
Two walks issued now by Leiter, and that'll bring up Steve Finley. Finley, the hitting star in Arizona's 7-1 win Game 2 at 5 RBIs. And most impressive in that, Ray, the 2-run single that he hit early in the game was at 2 outs. And the 2-run double he hit was with 2 outs. And all of a sudden, those 4 RBIs, and gee, what's the matter with you? Gee, 9 postseason RBIs in your career, pretty good.
I tell you, Al, to me right now is on. Although he's walked 2 hitters, he's just missing, throwing to his spots.
Got that one. You're right, Ray. 1 and 2.
I mean, he's been ahead of every hitter. Both walks have been when hitters Jay Bell and Colburn fought off 2 or 3 pitches.
This is tailor-made. Alfonso, Ordonez, Olerud, they turn it the best in baseball. 4-6-3 double play. We head to the bottom of the second here in New York. No score. The Mets and the D-backs.
I understand the hard part is the alarm clock, the packing, the short business-like shower. I understand the hard part is the on-ramp, the off-ramp, the getting to the gate without a cup of coffee. I understand that that's the hard part. That's why I give out seats, because seats are near windows, and windows let you watch the hard part get smaller and smaller and smaller.
Sometimes you don't realize how convenient electricity can be until you have to do without it. Like energy-efficient heat pumps that keep you comfortable year-round. Easy to clean cooktops that give you precision control. And low-cost security lighting to help protect your family. All the things that make an all-electric house a great place to come home to. APS, the power to make it happen.
Bill Pito back in the studio. Braves and Astros, Game 4 on ESPN. Houston again with the bases loaded. They couldn't come through yesterday. Here, 2 out. Don't come through again. Bill Spires grounds out, and it remains 1-0 Atlanta in the top of the second.
That'll start to wear on you, won't it, Ray?
It really will, man. You put those guys out there, and it starts to put more and more pressure on your shoulders, and then everybody starts thinking about it. And then you know John Smoltz is not going to keep on doing that. You look back at any ball game, there's always a time or two that a big hit makes a difference, and you just can't let those bases loaded situations, especially like they had in yesterday's ball.
Oh, it was brutal. Brutal. Robin Ventura to lead off the second inning for the Mets against lefty Brian Anderson. Ventura, Pratt, and Darrell Hamilton. Brian Anderson, since the 24th of July with the count 1-1, has gone 6-0, Ray. His last 4 starts, 2-0, ERA of 1.98. Now, a few times he did work in and out of the bullpen because they were going 6-man rotation for a while. Ventura to left field should be easy for Luis Gonzalez. It is. 1 out. But he's pitched 3 times against the Mets all here at Shea Stadium this year. And ERA against the Mets this year, admittedly, in relief, so the Mets didn't bat, see him 2 or 3 times in those games, Ray. 1.80. 19 starts this year, just 6 times has gone 7 innings. So that should be a concern, as we saw the soft underbelly of the Arizona Diamondbacks, and their bullpen got strafed last night. But as Buck Showalter said, as Todd Pratt comes to the plate, this game, what did he say? He didn't say Johnny Appleseed. He said Johnny Everybody will be pitching out of the bullpen today. Johnny Allstaff. That's right. We're talking about Falstaff beer, too, and that just got over the line as acceptable, which we feasted on in college. But that's right. Johnny Allstaff. I couldn't remember that. I like Falstaff. I don't think we can find that around anymore. Inside to Pratt. Todd Pratt had a baseball injured a couple of years ago, 96. Up and down 3 times a year ago from Norfolk, AAA squad here at these Mets. And this year installed as the backup to Piazza. Sends it pretty well to left, but Gonzalez has a lot of room, and 2 fly ball outs to left field. 2 out, Darrell Hamilton coming up. And Buck, what do you see thus far in Brian Anderson?
Well, Chris, you talk about how effective Anderson has been lately, and I think it has a lot to do with his delivery. If you take a look at his motion, watch his shoulder right there, how closed he is. It's difficult for the hitters to pick up the baseball. He throws a changeup to Agbayani, and Benny was out in front of it and lifts a lazy fly ball to left.
Darrell Hamilton up, and you would think he's working to Hamilton the same thing with a strike. What Bobby Valentine has done in this lineup and thinking ahead to Arizona's bullpen is that you go Alfonso righty 2, Olerud lefty 3, Agbayani righty 4, Ventura lefty 5, Pratt righty 6, Hamilton lefty 7, Ordonez righty 8. Part of the reason why Pratt and Hamilton are batting this way, although Hamilton lefty versus Anderson, still might hit him ahead of Pratt, though. You would.
Well, the only thing that does is then you've got 2 left-handers back-to-back, and Ventura and Hamilton, and that plays in to Buck Showalter's bullpen. So I always like it when managers go flip-flop, left-right, because that makes it a tough decision who to bring in from the bullpen, because you've got always the next hitter is going to be strong side. You know, you mentioned Brian Anderson. You talked about him. He actually had 3 parts of the seasons this year. When they acquired Johnson, Stottlemyre, and Reynosa, over the winter, he went into the bullpen. Then when Stottlemyre went into the rotation and was injured, his first 7 starts, he gave up 9 runs per outing, 9 earned run average. Then he went back to the bullpen when Stottlemyre returned.
He found himself at that point.
Yes, he did. Last 4 starts, tremendous earned run average.
Let's ask Buck. Now, on the rubber, what do you see here, Buck? What's this alignment?
Well, watch where he is on the third base side of the rubber, and that really adds to the difficulty of the hitters picking up the ball because he kind of crossfires the left-handers.
Off-speed pitch that Hamilton lofts lazily to right field. Gilkey is there, 3 fly ball outs, and we played 2. And guess what? It's a pitcher's duel. Back to Shea in a moment.
Let's take a look at some of Friday's.
Let's be honest. There's really no such thing as a gracious winner. You might say things like nice game or shake your opponent's hand. But no matter how humble you are on the outside, deep down on the inside, you're saying, I'm better than you are. The Mitsubishi Galant, ranked the #1 family sedan under 20 grand by Car and Driver. Better than Accord or Camry. Boy, we just love saying that.
They call me Oaf Dog from Sandusky, Ohio. Dog pound since '87. Football fanatic since birth. If you're a football fan like me, you gotta have DirecTV. I bought my DirecTV at Walmart. Walmart's got the best prices. I have 3 dishes total. This is the one on my house. I got another one on top of my motorhome. I get football beamed right from the football gods, right through my dish and right into my veins. Football is life. DirecTV, it's like you're there. You gotta have DirecTV. You gotta get to Walmart. I love football!
This is life. This is getting every mile you can out of life. And this is how you get there. Kelly Charger high-performance tires are engineered for long mileage. Of course, that's no guarantee you'll live harder or go farther. Just an invitation.
And the snow emergency is still in effect. In other news, the market rebounded today.
Ooh, the market.
Gene, buy one of them tech stocks.
Shake it off.
No, invest in pork belly.
No!
Dump your money in plastics.
While you're buying things, why don't you buy me some legs?
It's time for E-Trade, the #1 place to invest online.
I'd like my spleen back, too.
I don't know where it is.
No score here, top of the 3rd at Shea Stadium between the Diamondbacks and the Mets. And it's great to see the kids at the park with what a concept, a 1 o'clock start, Greg. Fox will have the Indians and Red Sox game 3, and I got a hunch on the Red Sox today. I just do. Although, boy, the Indians with that lineup impressive. My goodness, with them all healthy. Yankees Rangers on NBC. Game 3 of that series at 7:30. Can the Rangers and the Red Sox keep their hopes alive in the American League? We'll see. And then if there's 4 series going tomorrow, we have 3 of the games. If there's 3 series tomorrow, we got 2 of the games. If there's 2 series tomorrow, we got 1 of the games. If there's 1 series tomorrow, we got none of the games. That's why they play the games. Bernard Gilkey, Kelly Stinnett, and Brian Anderson, 7, 8, 9. 2 walks, but no hits thus far for the Diamondbacks against Al Leiter. Gilkey met a couple of years ago, 0 for 3 in his only start in Game 2. But he gives them more punch. This lineup, Ray, if Womack starts hitting it short with Gilkey and right, it's a little more potent. Although it's a little nubber, little lighter, kind of underhands to Olerud, and there's 1 out. Speaking of potent, the judge, Bill Pito.
All right, Chris, Atlanta and Houston over on ESPN. Atlanta threatening here in the 2nd, 1st and 3rd, 1 out. Jose Hernandez, though, grounds into the double play, and that is that. Walt Weiss, a great play at short yesterday. Hernandez to start today at short for the Braves. They're still up 1-2.
I really think. Wasn't that as great a play as you've seen by Walter?
Oh, boy.
That was great.
Oh, boy.
What a good guy. One of our favorites. One of our favorites. Kelly Stinnett with the injury, Damian Miller, although he made the roster, hit a couple of weeks ago and bad bruise and dislocate. So Stinnett has caught all 4 games. And the young man from Lawton, Oklahoma is quickly behind to Al Leiter, 0-2. Stinnett was a Met from 94 to 95. And playing hurt pretty much all year, as we said in the earlier part of the games 1 and game 2 is he struck out here. I can say it was in a collision with Ryan Klesko, the 4th game of the season, been playing hurt all year. Leiter didn't care about that, and he rings him right up.
Well, he goes away with a breaking ball to get him thinking soft, and he just busts him inside with a fastball. Two ways to work hitters. You get them aware of the fastball inside. The ball's got a little bit of cut on it, as you see the circle or the zero right there inside the seams of the baseball.
That'll bring up the pitcher, Brian Anderson, who, very interesting, Ray, is a switch hitter. This year was 5 for 38, which averages out to $132. Had a homer, a 2-run shot in a big series against the Giants off Mark Gardner. And he hits that well, but at Olerud. The only hard-hit ball is from the switch-hitting pitcher, but Olerud grabs it. Leiter, a goose egg in the hit department.
Here's the Chevy.
Your doctor about Viagra.
I like to think of myself as an innovator who started a company, Dell Computer, around an idea that everybody should be doing business directly with one another, one-to-one, with no barriers. To me, that's the power of the internet. We'd like to show you how to empower your business in ways you've never imagined. I'm Michael Dell, and it's our reason for being.
Be direct. Dell. Dell servers use Intel Pentium 3 processors.
Please, take it down. Oh, that's a reliable door. So? I've busted through doors all my life. It's the nicest I've seen.
Look, magnetic weather stripping.
Seals like a refrigerator. That's a forever white frame. It won't yellow.
And a 25-year guarantee.
Other doors only give you 10. Pretty, too.
Sir?
Go, go, go!
Reliable built-entry doors. Available at Lowe's and online.
You know, my first racing days were pretty rough. With my wheels set so close together, I was always getting loose in the turns. Now that I'm trading paint with the big boys, wider is better.
With speed-sensitive steering, the White Track Grand Prix delivers precise control in the corners. No wonder it's been selected official pace car of NASCAR.
There's no getting around it. Wider.
The White Track Grand Prix. Wider is better. By Pontiac.
Wake up to the thrill of Mach 3, the first triple blade razor. You take one stroke, it takes 3. For the closest shave in fewer strokes with less irritation. Mach 3 from Gillette.
Back at Shea Stadium in New York, scoreless game between the Diamondbacks and the Mets. Chris Berman, Ray Knight, Buck Martinez, so glad you could be with us. Playoff baseball on ESPN. Playoff baseball anywhere. This is great. Great time of year. All the series going. All the hopeful, all the great stories and the teams that just, hope to pull the upset in the first round. Not that either of these teams, with Ray Ordonez up against Brian Anderson, 100 wins and 97 wins, neither would be pulling an upset. They win this series. Ordonez, he flies out to center field. Brian Anderson pitching in the playoffs. We talked to him. What, me worry?
Sometimes you start to think as a player, well, now it's the postseason. You almost start to think these players have gotten better. And you got to sit back and say, listen, these are the same guys that you faced 2 months ago. Yeah, they're a great hitting ball club. They've got, but they're the same guys. They didn't all of a sudden, like on a video game, their attributes didn't go up because now it's the playoffs. And you have to remember that and take the same approach.
You always break it down to the video game. Quickly 0-2 to Al Leiter. He only hit in the game a sharp single up the middle with 2 out in the first by John Olerud. Only hit by either team. Leiter, not a good hitting pitcher. 6 for 57 this year, 105. Did have a couple of doubles. Career 103 hitter.
Brian Anderson, Wright State University, first-team All-American. He's had a lot of success, a lot of people high on him. Punches out Leiter they're taking.
Second strikeout for
first-round draft choice of the Angels in 93, third pick in the country, and then get to 97, the first pick in the expansion draft, plucked from the Cleveland Indians after the really nice performance in the playoffs in the World Series for the Indians that year. So a lot of people think highly of him, and it's because of his makeup. He certainly has good stuff. But what you see right there is the real thing. He believes in himself. He has a real good idea about pitching, and he's not intimidated about these big situations.
Ricky Henderson. He's already stolen 6 stolen bases in this series. That would be from the Department of Redundancy Department. He's stolen 6 stolen bases. We talked to him before the game in their pregame card game. Rick, just leave a couple of them in there, will you? Otherwise, I feel like we're going to have some cricket if you take all these bases with you. He's 41 years old on Christmas Day.
It'll be a heck of a matchup with Ricky on first with 2 outs, a time that a lot of base stealers like to run with the great move that Brian Anderson had 12 pickoffs in '98, which tied for the league lead.
Ripped. Short hop by Matt Williams. The long throw across the diamond to Colburn. Henderson is gone. And a 1-2-3 inning for the second straight inning for Brian Anderson. Scoreless in the Apple.
Get up, get down. Hang tight, hang loose. Out there in the sun.
You know that little voice in your head makes you feel guilty for having too much of a good thing? Yeah, we don't either.
Outback Steakhouse, no rules, just right.
Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
It's your thing. Do what you wanna do. I can't tell you who to sock it to.
$170 million. That's a record. Think it's going to change you?
Absolutely not. E.J. Tucker's never been about money. E.J. Tucker's never played for money, and money will not change E.J. Tucker not one iota.
Say, is that a Bud Light?
Oh, yeah, it's last one. Oh, yeah? What do you say I give you $1 million for?
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
What do you want for that watch?
To build the new LeSabre, we didn't just look to research numbers or test scores. We also took a good look at your family. Introducing the all-new 2000 LeSabre, re-engineered with more safety features than any other car in its class. The new 2000 LeSabre by Buick.
In the early games, there is only potential, expectation, and possibility. All we have are questions right now. For the answers will come on the ice. Flyers, Capitals. Tuesday at 7:30 on ESPN2.
Scoreless in the top of the 4th inning here at Shea Stadium. There's Al Leiter's wife, Lori Leiter, looking on, and 2 young daughters from Toms River, New Jersey, just down the road a piece, Palisades Parkway, down on the Jersey Shore. I think we saw Mark Leiter sitting.
Yes, he was.
Right? Mark Leiter, who hurt his arm very early this year for Seattle. Al's brother Mark. Of course, Toms River, New Jersey, the Little League champions. So there's good baseball at every level. Toms River. Lots of good things in Toms River. Breaking ball just missed it to Tony Womack. And this, you know, maybe this is the game Womack gets started. Flew out to center field to begin. Tony is just 1 for 14. Inside 3-1. The only way the Diamondbacks have gotten aboard have been by walks. Bell walked in the first. Colburn walked in the second. Bell was thrown out stealing. Colburn erased on a double play.
As we mentioned earlier, the 93 walks, the 6th highest in the National League that Al Leiter allowed.
He comes back nicely and freezes Womack there, and Womack struggles at the plate continue. Never struggling. Billy Pito.
All right, Chris, same old story for Houston. This time in the second, 1st and 3rd with 2 out. Stan Javier against John Smoltz, and he grounds out. So through 2 innings, Houston has left 5 men on base. It's still 1-0 Atlanta in the top of the 3rd now.
L.O.B.
Left on base, and I tell you, that Atlanta Braves pitching staff can do it as well as anybody. Over the years, they seem like they stack runners on base, and the Glavins and the Smoltzes and the Maddoxes have always been able to make those crucial pitches when the pressure is uttermost on their shoulders.
Leiter ahead of Jay Bell, 0-2. Well, the Braves are trying to do what no National League team has done since the start of this division series in '95. Lose the first game and win the series. Those that have won the first game are a perfect 8 for 8. And, of course, the Mets won the first game in this series.
First pitch to Jay Bell away. We talked about pounding him inside, but give you a little philosophy as to why he did it, and thereafter 0-2 went away. Let's see what he does again here.
Fisted. Coming on is Hamilton. Makes the catch. You want to know why Darrell Hamilton's in center field? Why Steve Phillips made the move to get him? You just saw it. That was no easy play.
Certainly not when you have a guy that hit 38 home runs. When you take that big swing, your tendency is to break back, but not Darrell Hamilton. Breaks for it, keeps his head right down on the baseball. The sun is hitting a little bit, but it's still a very high sky, as you see as the reaction of Al Leiter. Talking about emotion, Bobby Valentine said
that's great.
He wants him to be emotional. He feels like that he's a better pitcher when he's emotional. Some people say that he wears his emotions on his sleeve. Al Leiter says, that's the way I am. That's when I'm charged up and I pitch my best.
Luis Gonzalez, one of 4 Arizona All-Stars, looks at ball 1. Darrell Hamilton, the center fielder for the Texas Rangers when they won their first ever AL West in '96. Center fielder for the San Francisco Giants when they won the NL West in '97. And here he is with the Mets, and Gonzalez sits it on a rope. But Agbayani is there. A 1-2-3 inning for Al Leiter with little help from his friends.
Today's Sports Century Classic Moment is brought to you by MasterCard.
In their only World Series ever, the St. Louis Browns play the St. Louis Cardinals on neutral ground at Sportsman's Park. It's the 6th game. An error helps the Cards score all their runs in the 4th, while the Browns failed to get a hit in the last 6 innings. The Redbirds win 3-1 for their 5th World Championship in 19 years on October 9th, 1944.
9 programs, $27. 5 hot dogs, 6 pennants, $45. 1 big puffy hand, $6. Their first big league ball game, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard, the card at the heart of Major League Baseball.
Frogs do not have the active response system, and it shows. Only the Alero has the active response system. 16 features working together to connect you to the road. Frog, without the active response system. Alero, with the active response system. Alero, by Oldsmobile. Start something.
It is more than a trial by fire. It is a rite of passage. And if you can master your fear, outsmart your enemy, and never yield even to yourself, you will be changed forever. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Now through Monday at Zales, we're having a diamond sale where you can get up to 50% off and more throughout the store. Like this beautiful 7-carat diamond bracelet for just $9.99. Now through Monday at Zales, or shop online at Zales.com.
First pitch to Edgardo Alfonso here in the bottom of the 4th inning. and he fouls it away from Brian Anderson. A pitcher's duel deluxe. Anderson against Al Leiter. Alfonso, Olerud, and Agbayani. 2-3-4 here for the Mets in the fourth. Chris Berman, Ray Knight, Buck Martinez. So glad you could join us for postseason baseball on a perfect day. Low 70s, a little humid, but boy, early October. This is pretty good job ordering by the doctor. Alfonso struck out in the first inning. Day for the kids to be out here getting maybe their first experience of a big-time baseball game, and I'll tell you something you remember for the rest of your life. How about me? I remember my first one, you know, 9 years old, Game 4, World Series, 1964. Ken Boyer hits grand slam. Cards 4, Yanks 3. I mean, I remember scooping up dirt from Yankee Stadium on the way out. You were allowed to, by the way. You walked out to center field. All these kids, I hope they have a memory for a lifetime.
Pretty good spot there, especially to set up your changeup. Remember, Brian Anderson's best pitch is his changeup. Hasn't had to go to it much today. The one to Agbayani that Buck mentioned. Good spot for it right here.
Sends it a pretty good way. Gonzalez back to the track. Back he goes. Back. He's done it again. Home run, Mets. Three home runs in this series for Edgardo Alfonso. If you add the home run against the Reds, 4 in the postseason. The Fonz has given the Mets the first nugget on the scoreboard. Olerud to center field. Coming on is Finley. He'll have time. 1 down.
Take a look at the pitch here, the location of the pitch. Here it is. We think changeup right there, ball going down. That is a perfect pitch. That's just a great piece of hitting there. Changeup going down and away, knee high, almost on the outside part of the plate. Great plate coverage there by Alfonso, but that's amazing that he can get down, go get that ball outside part of the plate. That's a pretty good pitch. I want to ask Buck about that pitch after this.
Well, can we make a little determination, Ray, that he's pretty strong? He's got a pretty quick
Oh, man.
Buck, I mean, isn't that what he's trying to do?
Yeah, he made a great pitch, and Alfonso went down there to get it. Anderson gave up 18 home runs during the regular season, 17 of them hit by right-handed hitters. We talked about his delivery to the left-handers, how it's difficult with that crossfire motion. But even when he makes a good pitch to guys like Alfonso, they come after him because they're diving out over the plate.
2-1 to Benny Agbayani. Mets on the board. That grand slam that he hit, I know it was at 2 o'clock in the morning. A lot of people have seen the highlights if they didn't see it real time. We couldn't believe that ball didn't go foul, except that he had such a quick bat and he hit it so hard.
Well, he stays inside the baseball so well. As you see right there on that ball outside, he didn't pull that ball on the ground. A lot of people on a ball down and away will come over the top of that ball and smother it and hit a ground ball. He has that great extension through the ball, takes the back knob of the bat toward the pitcher, which allows the bat to lay off a little bit. Has no turn of his left shoulder, which keeps the bat in a position and an angle to keep the ball fair.
A year ago, Brian Anderson allowed 39 home runs. So obviously he's improved himself by 50%. But look at Agbayani, send it deep to center. Finley has room. Then he drove that a long way, about 390, 395. But he picked the deepest part of the park. 2 out. They're measuring him now. We can make that determination, Ray.
Well, every once in a while, a hitter or an organization will be able to pick up something different in the way that a pitcher grips the ball in his glove. The Mets' Bobby Valentine is a master at figuring out signs and also watching deliveries, trying to figure out.
He dropped down but didn't fool Ventura. Into the right field corner. Gilkey struggles with it, but Ventura will stop at second base. Second extra base hit for the Mets here in the fourth against Anderson.
Only the second time I've seen Anderson drop down. That ball's pretty much out over the plate, down. Ventura, good low ball hitter, just rakes it right down the right field line. Gilkey gets over there, but no chance for the slow-footed Ventura, especially with 2 outs, to even attempt to get to third base.
So now here's Todd Pratt catching because of the thumb injury to Piazza with a chance to double the Mets lead. In the hole, Womack stops it and has time to make a strong throw to Colburn to get Pratt. Fine play by Womack, but the Mets have struck through. On a good pitch by Brian Anderson, a better swing by Edgardo Alfonso. 1-0 Mets.
On every track, in every car, in every Winston Cup race since 1954, there's only been one gas. 76, the official fuel of NASCAR. Now there's 76 with Pro Power. It's cleaner burning for more powerful performance. On the track and off. Get the spirit of NASCAR. Get the spirit of 76.
We're out here talking to people about the Cox Value Club. Let's get to work. Hi, ladies. How you doing? Wow, look how your friends leave. I'm friendly, though. You belong to any clubs?
Cox Club?
It's Cox Value Club. So when you tell your friends when you're out having fun, it's Cox Value Club.
Cox Value Club.
Yeah. 5 premium movie channels. What do you think? Good food or good cable? What's better?
Good cable.
Call Cox today at 602-277-1000 and get connected for just $9.95. And join the club, the Cox Value Club.
You know, I'm so darn bored, there's nothing to do around here.
Hey, what we need is a little action. I'll meet you at Gila River Casino.
Yes. Where is she?
There are 2 Gila River casinos. Wild Horse Pass serving the East Valley off I-10 at Maricopa Road, and the only West Valley casino, V Cueva, on 51st Avenue, 10 miles south of I-10.
You ditz!
My name is Alice. I'm a registered nurse and a grandmother. I've always enjoyed a little adventure, unlike my husband, Frank. I like to hike. Frank, he likes to putt. Of course, now that he's retired, our money has to work a little harder. No sense letting it sit around doing nothing. That's Frank's job.
For your own financial solutions, call us, Bank One.
Top of the 5th inning, Alfonso's homer has given the Mets a 1-0 lead, and nothing allowed by Al Leiter thus far. So if you add the no hits, 4 innings pitched today, and his 2-hit root-going performance against Cincinnati, and the last 4 innings of his start before that, the Wednesday game here on September 29th against the Braves, last 17 innings pitched, 4 hits, no runs allowed by Al Leiter, right?
And another strong stat that amazed me last night is his last 60 starts.
Matt Williams to left field, coming on is Ricky Henderson, and he makes the catch. Williams is gone. 1 out in the 5th. Here's Bill Pito.
All right, Chris, Braves and Astros over on ESPN. Brian Jordan is hitting .500. The other big offseason acquisition, Brett Boone, began play hitting .429 in this series. Base hit there to driving John Smoltz, and Atlanta now leads at 2-0 playing the top of the 4th.
Well, when you squander, thank you, Billy, you squander those opportunities sooner or later, you get hurt. You know, all those opportunities yesterday, Houston, more opportunities today, and we're going to solve John Smoltz. Greg Colburn One out in the 5th. On May 11th, 1996, Al Leiter, pitching for Florida, had a no-hitter against Colorado Rockies. Inside 2-0.
The stat that I was going to throw out there, in his last 60 starts, Al Leiter has worked into the 6th inning 52 times. That's 88%, almost 88% in his last 60 starts. That's pretty phenomenal. Checking farther into this season, only one time in his 32 starts did he get knocked out before the 5th. So 31 out of 32 times he got his ball club through the 5th inning. That's a phenomenal stat. Just seems like one day you'd have bad stuff.
Seems like it. The Mets, with all their great pitchers, you don't need to know the names, or you know them. Tom Seaver, Jerry Koosman, John Matlack, young Nolan Ryan. Hit well to left. Henderson is back on this ball by Colburn. Gone. Ricky gave it his best, and I guess the Mets still will not have a no-hitter in their team history.
Is that what you're getting to?
I was getting to. I
you almost got there. You almost got there.
And I was going to stop talking about it after the 5th inning. That was the end.
You started talking about it too early, man. Little fastball out over the plate, didn't get it in a little bit, did not get it in enough. Colburn, although he caught it right about the label with those strong hands, Ricky going up just missed the ball, didn't quite get back there quick enough. I think he would have been able to elevate enough, but he just didn't quite get back there quick enough, and when he was at the apex of his jump, the ball had already disappeared.
I love him still looking in the mitt, just in case he didn't feel it. Let me open up Webbington. Nah, it's not in there.
Oh, that was for us.
That's what I was getting to. I needed one more. And then after the 5th, I don't talk about that anymore. I think in the 5th, it's fair game to talk about no-hitters. Till then, after the 5th, that's it.
I don't talk about him. That's only because I've been in that dugout so many times. If you do, somebody will hit you over the head with a bat.
Count is 1-2 to Steve Finley. Finley grounded to short to end the 2nd inning.
One thing that Leiter does when he starts to force, he starts throwing nothing but fastballs, fastballs, fastballs. Todd Pratt said that his job is to make sure he goes to a slow curveball.
Hit well by Finley. Considering it was off the end of the bat, and just kind of a pool cue in there. So 2 hits now after nothing doing, 1 out in the 5th against Leiter. So a home run to Colburn, single by Finley, and gives us a chance to tell you that this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Commissioner of Baseball. May not be reproduced, retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and description of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. So you know what? The no-hitter's gone, and the copyright's gone in the same half inning. Gives us a chance to watch how Olerud holds on, or kind of holds on, the base runner. And Buck, we can bring you in on this. We talked about it the other night. It can be disconcerting for the runner, right? It's hard to pick up the pitch, the ball. Look at what Olerud does. It's almost like a pick. Gilkey to left field. Henderson is there. Finley back to first base.
The catcher, Kelly Stinnett.
This could be disconcerting for a lot of people involved. It's unusual, isn't it, Buck?
Well, it's very unusual, and Bobby Valentine has decided that the left-handers without a particularly good move like Al Leiter and Dennis Cook, he will play Olerud off the bag and basically blocked the view of the base runner. Remember, Olerud's 6'6", and it's tough to look around him. So you never really get comfortable as a base runner. You see him peeking around. Olerud doesn't know which way to go. Should I go back to the bag? Should I get my break? And it's very difficult to get a good jump with Olerud out there in no man's land. It's a very unorthodox move. Watch Finley as he works around Olerud. What side? What side do I go on? And he never really gets comfortable with his break towards second.
And Ray, you're in a pretty good fielding position, too, at first base, aren't you?
Yeah, you're in a great fielding position, but I'm telling you what you can do right now. We were able to break this in Cincinnati. Jimmy Leland was the first I ever saw to do this. When you get a lead like, you get off the bat like Olerud is, all you have to do is get on the other side of him, go on the first move. See right there, just get a bigger lead. Take another 2 steps, get on the other side of him. He'll be going back to the bag. You can steal the bag in the first move.
Struck him out. Stinnett strikes out. Finley stranded at first, but the Diamondbacks have struck back with a long ball of their own. 1-1 mid-5.
With technology unavailable in any other SUV, just how smooth is the ride of the new Land Rover? Technology you'll be comfortable with.
Your Land Rover retailer has something else you'll be comfortable with. Great lease rates on a Discovery.
What's up, Glow Boy? You need to make a call? Nah, you don't need any change. Just dial 1-800-COLLECT. Yeah, 1-800-COLLECT. You can save a buck or two. Go ahead, try it. Don't mention it. Just tell all your buddies. Tourists. 1-800-COLLECT. Save a buck or two.
The World Wide Web. 40 million sites. 800 million pages. 60 billion words. And one search engine that prioritizes, categorizes, and organizes it into neat little folders. Northern Light, just what you've been searching for.
Buy 4 Michelin tires now and get a free emergency roadside kit. Play the Michelin Buy 4 and Score game and maybe win a Dodge Viper, plus other great prizes. See your participating Michelin dealer by October 31st.
The Buccaneers and the Packers go head-to-head on ESPN Sunday Night Football.
It's going to be a battle of the bays, baby.
I don't get it.
Tampa Bay versus Green Bay. The battle of the bays.
You know what I like? I like that Old Bay seasoning. Makes a really tasty crab. Is that from Tampa Bay?
What?
I love a good crab, but shellfish repeats on me like nobody's business.
Ah, real nice.
It's the Buccaneers against the Packers on ESPN Sunday Night Football. It all begins with NFL primetime at 7:30. Tie game anew. Bottom of the 5th. 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Mets. Darrell Hamilton, Ray Ordonez, Al Leiter against Brian Anderson. Home run Alfonso, bottom 4. Home run Colburn, top 5. Hamilton flew out to right field and the second inning. Now grounds to Womack at short. He kind of plays that interestingly into his throwing hand, but it goes 6-3 anyway. And Ray, I promise I will not talk, because I'm going to hear about it from Al, who's a good friend of ours, of course. I will not talk about a no-hitter again when he's, until it's gone, you know? I'm sorry, I was trying to sneak it in.
It's not like you always have him going into the 4th either.
I know. So we apologize.
I don't think he heard you.
No. No, they get cable down there, though. They do. Ray Ordonez flew out to center field and first out in the 3rd inning. Ordonez now 3 for 11 in the series. So Anderson's settling down. The home run was a good pitch, but well hit by Alfonso. Agbayani had a strong ball to center field. And Ventura doubled sharply down the line the last half inning. So let's see how the youngster Anderson, young, but he 27 years of age, so he settles in, working at the bottom part of the lineup. Interesting. Here's, well, we're going to the 5th now in Houston behind John Smoltz. The Braves trying to close out the Stros. Foul back. It's interesting to note that in Al Leiter's 2 starts in the 97 World Series for the Florida Marlins, which would be, of course, Game 7, and Game 3, that wild game won by Florida 14-7. Brian Anderson worked for Cleveland in both of those games in relief, although Leiter was gone both times before Anderson came in. They have opposed each other in the postseason, if you will, before. Ordonez's gone, and that'll bring up Leiter.
Right here, buries a fastball inside, and that's what you have to do as a change-up pitcher. You throw your hardest pitch on the inside part of the plate. You throw the change-up, your softest pitch, away. They start respecting that change-up, trying not to strike out. 2 strikes, you bust them inside, and they have nothing they can do about it. Just look at it.
0-2 to Leiter.
Anderson at 62 pitches right now has gone to 3 balls only once in this ball game.
One-two pitch on the way. Leiter gets wood on it, and some applause from the Mets crowd, which is quieted down after that Colbrun home run. They came ready for bear, although not lethal here. I would say it's a nice, it's a well-behaved crowd, just enthusiastic. So pair of strikeouts in this inning for Brian Anderson, who has bounced back nicely. 1-1 through 5. Why would you leave?
A blitzing 290-pound linebacker knocked John Elway unconscious. A concerned team physician kneeled over Elway. Johnny said, "Do you know where you are?" Elway sat up, looked around, and said, "Yeah, I'm 3rd and 18 on the 21-yard line."
Expect more from an original. Original Coors. Brewed a mile high.
My beer? It's got to be original.
Let's be honest. There's really no such thing as a gracious winner. You might say things like nice game or shake your opponent's hand. But no matter how humble you are on the outside, deep down on the inside, you're saying, I'm better than you are. The Mitsubishi Galant, ranked the #1 family sedan under 20 grand by Car and Driver. Better than Accord or Camry. Boy, we just love saying that.
I was born hungry, but I was born Italian. So that never happened again. Tonight, we had the perfect meal for us. The Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl. You pick any of their special pastas, and you get all the free refills you want. Ooh, spaghetti with meat sauce, fettuccine Alfredo, you name it. The bowls keep coming until you say, when? And the same for salad and breadsticks, all for $6.95.
I'm gonna eat it all.
That's Cousin Al. Nobody's ever heard this guy say when.
I love this place.
Olive Garden. When you're here, you're family.
This is Mr. Taylor's room. Have you seen this guy? No. All business. I mean, he gets faxes all the time. Never loosens his tie. But I mean, that's how you make it to the top, Walter. You got to work, you know? But he's in there right now making a deal.
50-yard line! I got the tickets. I'm going to the game. Is that for me? 50-50.
Okay, Mr. Shapiro, 216.
Back at Shea Stadium, a 1-1 game in our Aflac trivia question. The Mets are 14-7 at home in the postseason, which is the best mark in the majors. What pitcher got the win in their first postseason victory at home? And we'll give you the answer the next half inning. And now the switch-hitting pitcher, a pretty good left-handed throwing pitcher, Brian Anderson, is up. Speaking of trivia questions, one of my favorite is seeing the switch-hitting Anderson at the plate. The last American League MVP was a switch hitter. Agbayani. Whoa!
Oh, man.
He's riding a wave. Riding a wave in there at the North Shore. He makes the catch, but just to finish. Well, we'll show you the catch. It was.
I don't know what happened right here. There's not a lot of wind there. He just comes in there. There's no sun. The sun is overcast here. Al Leiter said, "Mercy me, baby." Nice catch.
Yep. Tony Womack 1 for 15 in the series. The answer is the last American League switch hitter to win the MVP. It's a trick question. A lot of people know the answer. Vida Blue, 1971.
I didn't know.
Not Eddie Murray, Mickey Mantle. So seeing Anderson always brings that question to mind. Very quickly, Womack behind 0-2.
And very quickly, the Mets have a great defensive infield, but they struggled all year long with your outfield play until they acquired Hamilton. Agbayani struggling right. Henderson struggled center left. Had McRae in center for a while.
Al's pumped up again. He has settled down nicely, as Anderson did. We talked to him about, hey, Al, you show your emotions a little bit on the mound. He said, that's fine by me.
That kind of antic, or what looks like I'm out of control, is really internally I'm very much in control. As a matter of fact, if I look at a lot of my games, my better games are when I'm acting like that. I know even Bobby Valentine said, when I watch you and you look all serious and quiet, and he gets worried. He likes when I get a little flaky.
You got the big flakes this afternoon. Frosted flakes. Jay Bell has walked and flew out to center field on a great shoestring catch by Darrell Hamilton in the 4th inning. Just the home run by Colburn, which Finley followed with a single. That's the 2 walks came in the first 2 innings. He's been masterful. Inside to Bell. Actually, it nipped him. Way inside.
The left fielder, Luis Gonzalez.
Want to get away from him a little bit? I mean,
he's just cutting that ball. It starts out over the plate, and sometimes you get on top of it a little bit, and it just keeps on riding in there. Got away from him just a tad. But he obviously, his game plan is to pitch Jay Bell in all day long. He's only thrown him 1 pitch outside, 0-2 pitch, about 6-8 inches off the plate.
Luis Gonzalez, 2 fly ball outs. 1 to center, 1 to right. Had 2 hits in the opener, but since then, his average in this series has gone to 2 for 9. There's that lead again in Olerud's play, Ray.
Well, what happens here, and the way that you can defeat this, watch how Olerud gets off there, and he's blocked you because you get a lead right behind him. You go ahead and take a full step over there. And the only way that the pitcher can get you is pick you off and step off the bag. If you go on his first move and he comes to first base, Olerud's moving back to the bag, you're moving to second base, and you're gone. Leiter does not have a very good move. So what you do is you stretch your lead, force him to throw over there, and go on the first move. Now, I had some pretty good speed in Cincinnati, but...
Ventura to Alfonso. Bell is forced, and that's it for the Diamondbacks in the top of the 6th inning. Heading to the bottom of the 6th in New York, the top of the order for the Mets.
Put your name on the line. It means something. That's what Jiffy Lube Signature Service is all about. We put our name on the line every single day. It's our guarantee we did the job right. Jiffy Lube Signature Service. More than an oil change. And we offer quality Pennzoil and Quaker State products.
Together we've celebrated lazy days and rain delays. Big kids and little ladies. Moments that live once and forever. But what we've really celebrated is time together. Now McDonald's salutes the year-long Walt Disney World Millennium Celebration, where new memories are yet to come. Start at McDonald's with 2 morning fresh sausage McMuffins with egg for $2, or 2 Big Macs for $2. Where can you start celebrating the millennium? Did somebody say McDonald's?
Hey, Daisy, I ever tell you I did some modeling before I got on TV, much like yourself?
Really? Where?
Department store underwear ads, mainly.
Hey, would you like to join me and my friends while we go try on some new thongs?
Yeah.
You know, we models drink Miller Lite because it's so smooth.
But you know, I drink Miller Lite because it tastes great.
See, I knew it. You're no model.
Well, I am wearing a thong. Backwards, I think.
Miller Lite. Taste a true Pilsner.
You want to see?
Got a problem? Want a refund? Need help? When you have a complaint, don't talk to the hand. Take it to the man.
My name's Skidmore, Rich Skidmore.
Chasing down the bad guys, asking the tough questions.
Why don't you speak with us? Are you afraid of the camera?
Rich Skidmore and 3 on your side are working the streets and getting your money back. It's nice to have someone on your side, but when you really need help, you need 3 on your side.
Game, bottom of the 6th inning, our Aflac trivia question-answer. Question: Mets 14-7 at home in the playoffs. Who won the Mets' first home playoff game? It was Game 3, the clincher in the 1969 NLCS. Nolan Ryan pitched 7 innings in relief of Gary Gentry. 3 hits, 7 Ks, and the Mets were on their way to the World Series, which, of course, they won in 5 games here against the Baltimore Orioles, with Jerry Koosman winning 2 games in that series, winning Game 5. And Nolan Ryan is the first Shea Stadium Met winning pitcher in the postseason. He won a few other games, too. Hall of Famer as of this summer, Nolan Ryan. At the top of the order, Ricky Henderson, 0 for 2, then Alfonso, then Olerud. In there for a strike to Ricky. Ricky fly ball to right and ground ball to third. 0 for 2. Chipper Jones is up with 2 men on. Well, then it wouldn't be the bottom of the 5th now, would it? So I don't know. We'll get it straight. You see now, very dangerous when you have 2/3 of the information. Apparently they've retired Chipper Jones. That's why they're in the bottom of the 5th. It's 2-0. Ricky, with 6 stolen bases in this series, has been a virtual menace as he's been throughout his entire career. Staying alive. Of course, Ricky is also a menace in the base on balls department. Has walked 3 times. And this has been well documented. He is 3rd all-time Major League history in the walk department, behind only Babe Ruth and Ted Williams. Ricky with 1,972 walks. The Babe 2,056 and Ted 2,019. So he's going to catch that, you would think. Runs, he is 5th all-time, behind only Ty Cobb, Hank Aaron, Babe Ruth, and Pete Rose. With Cobb at 2,245, so he's could catch that. Not to mention, he's going to get probably 3,000 base hits.
Well, if he plays
810, right?
If he plays 5 more years like he says he's going to, that's a lot.
And how about he's going to get 300 homers, Rick? I mean, it's hard to kind of.
That just shows you
better numbers than that. Staying alive. Not a lot of room here at Shea in foul ground. Stadium built 1964. You know, with Candlestick closing, by the way, for the Giants, stay open for the 49ers. Oldest parks National League, Wrigley Field, of course. Dodger Stadium, 1962. Candlestick was built in 60, but that'll be gone next year. Shea Stadium, the 3rd oldest National League, 1964. Built when the World's Fair was here in New York. home for the Mets and the Jets. 10th pitch now. Anderson to Henderson. This is what he does, huh?
This is a tremendous matchup here. You talk about Ricky Henderson's ability to walk. Brian Anderson, 4th in the league as far as control, only 1.8 walks per 9 innings. So that's why you get to 10 pitch at bats, because Henderson doesn't strike out too much, doesn't swing at bad balls too often.
Bat splintered. Ball foul. A couple of nights here in the Northeast this week. Could have put a little kindling in the fireplace, and Ricky just contributed to it.
Tremendous ratio here. Brian Anderson early in this ball game, actually to the 6th inning. 75 pitches thrown, 53 of those have been for strikes, just 22 balls.
Rip just past Cookie Rojas. All of a sudden, after lulling us with these foul balls, that one had a little hair on it. The hero is on deck, Edgardo Alfonso, and he's seen just about, not that he needs to, he's seen just about every pitch that Anderson has here.
Well, he has. This really helps the offense right here. Everybody, not only they see a lot of pitches, but it ends up tiring a guy out, because what he's doing, he's having to make pitches under pressure. And that's his 13th pitch, all under pressure. He doesn't want to walk Ricky Henderson, and that takes away from your stamina more than anything. And it may not happen with Ricky Henderson, but down the line, when he has to make a pitch, he may just hang something.
On the 14th pitch, Henderson with a base hit that bounces away from Gilkey. Patience is a virtue, and that's why the Mets have a base runner. Henderson has stolen 6 bases. He's scored 4 runs, but Edgardo Alfonso, you talk about a week? Monday, home run, 1st inning. Mets beat Reds. Tuesday, home run, 1st inning. 4-4 ninth at Arizona. Grand slam, way deep past the foul pole. Blasted back. Home run, 4th inning. I would take that week. Ricky is aboard, and Alfonso is up. Menace and menace.
The 14 pitches of Ricky Henderson in that at-bat was more pitches than Brian Anderson threw in the 1st, 3rd, or 5th inning total.
This should get out of play, and it does. In any postseason series, any World Series, LCS, the record is 8 stolen bases. Ricky for the A's, 5 games against Toronto in the ALCS. Lou Brock twice in the World Series for the Cardinals against the Red Sox and Tigers in 67 and 68. Ron Gant, you saw, a young Ron Gant for the Braves, turned the trick, and Willie Wilson, the mercurial one, when he played for Oakland later in his career against Toronto. But the record is 8 in any series. So Ricky has 6 in this one.
Well, Brian Anderson told me that he did not know if he could stop Ricky Henderson from running. But he said he feels he's got a good enough move, but he thinks the key is that he's going to stop Ricky Henderson's feet. He's going to not let him get a walking lead.
Well, that pitch count that Anderson had nursed so beautifully is going out the window this inning.
That was just one of those classic battles with a great hitter and a young pitcher out there that has depth control, showing you how many quality pitches he made. That's what happens to foul balls. Foul balls are just when hitters have a pitch that's too good to put into play, and they just fight him off, trying to work to a better pitch to hit.
Sky to the infield. It's the net. Now Matt Williams takes charge. He grabs it. 1 out. John Olerud, 1 for 2, a sharp single up the middle in the first inning. Steps to the plate. Olerud is 6 for 14 in this series. And we documented how all of a sudden, at least in this series, lefties getting better off them than righties in the regular season. I mean, that's not even close. One-time batting champ, 1993 Toronto Blue Jays, when he hit .363. A year ago, hit .354. The highest average in Mets history, breaking the old mark, held by Cleon Jones, with .340 in the Miracle Mets year of 1969, the year in which Ryan won the game in relief, Seaver, Kuzma. One the count to Olerud with Henderson, the runner at first base, in a 1-1 game. Chris Berman, Ray Knight, Buck Martinez with you on ESPN2 and Points Beyond. Glad you could be with us. Been great. That sidewinder, Ray.
Yeah, he's thrown that 4 times today and has thrown 4 balls with it. Only thrown a total of 24 balls all day long. Just a different look. It doesn't necessarily mean he's trying to make a pitch with it, but always can put something in the back of the mind of a hitter.
I wouldn't say that Ricky's timid out there, but Anderson's doing a great job, right?
He better be a little timid. I know one thing. He's not going to be able to get a walking lead, and that's where Ricky's so successful. Brian Anderson said the one thing that he was going to do was make sure that he held the ball, varied his pitch to the plate.
Olerud to the gap in left center field. Cut off nicely by Finley, but Henderson into third. Olerud with a single in the Mets have runners on the corners with 1 out. See Ricky Henderson run, and we got to give Anderson a lot of credit there, although there he is at third base.
Well, Chris, the whole thing with Henderson, he's not real comfortable against Brian Anderson. Watch Ricky at first base during the Olerud at bat. He couldn't get a good read on Anderson, and because of that, he couldn't steal. You see how he's going back to the bag when Anderson goes to the plate. He has run wild on the Diamondbacks in this series, but Anderson neutralized him in that particular at bat.
And, of course, you can't say that it woulda, coulda, shoulda. Had he stolen a base, then he might have scored on the hit by Olerud, but we'll never know. Anderson might have pitched differently. One of those things, but right now, Agbayani is just trying to loft a fly ball to break this 1-1 tie.
And, Buck, I'm also going to give him credit for the John Olerud hit, Ricky Henderson, because of the way that he worked Anderson during that inning.
This will be out of play.
Certainly is a factor, Ray, and Anderson made quality pitch after quality pitch to Ricky Henderson, and finally Henderson, as he's done throughout his career, gets a pitch that he can drive the other way and starts this inning. I mean, these two guys, Anderson and Leiter, have really done a good job, and Buck Showalter has said throughout this series, you know what, Brian Anderson is a very capable pitcher, and I'm not concerned about starting Randy Johnson on short rest.
Henderson now trying to distract Anderson a little bit down the third baseline, and that pitch is inside for ball 2-1.
Now this is where you see a pitcher start to change a little bit. Not in his mechanics, but his thought process. Brian Anderson going right at hitter, pitch after pitch after pitch. Now he's behind Agbayani 2-1 because he wants to throw the perfect pitch to get a ground ball double play.
Inside, 3-1 with Ventura on deck. Center field. This will go all the way to the wall. Henderson scores. Olerud is being held up at third. Double for Agbayani. Mets lead it 2-1. Playing, but he has given the Mets the lead. A visit to the mound by Mark Connor to Brian Anderson, and Agbayani 2 nights at hitting cleanup Ray. 3 for 5.
Well, there's no greater pressure than when you come up for your first cup of coffee in the big leagues. Agbayani on the fastball down, stays inside the ball, did not try to pull it, kept the ball in the air. That guaranteed 1 run, got it out there in the gap, set up a second and third situation. But when he first came up with the Mets, all that pressure is right on your shoulders as a rookie, never having played in the big leagues. Once you get that under your belt, it becomes easier and easier to play on the big league level.
Greg Olson, right-hander, up and throwing for the Diamondbacks. Robin Ventura doubled down the right field line his last time up. Robin is 1 for 2, 3 for 12 in the series. Strike 1.
Although you have first base open with 1 out and Pratt on deck, you still have to go get Robin Ventura here. You go right at him, try to get an out there, make your mind up then if you want to walk Pratt to pitch to Hamilton.
Good play by Stinnett to block it. Keep Olerud at third. Here's Pratt on deck. Back to the mound. Anderson checks the runners. A big pitch and a big out by Brian Anderson. 2 down for Pratt.
Todd Pratt.
See the pitch coming right at us there. A breaking ball slider. Hasn't thrown a lot of them lately, but does throw them to left-handed hitters, and Ventura off the end of the bat. Nice pitch in a crucial situation for Anderson.
Todd Pratt 0 for 2. This will be out of play.
Now you ask the question, right-handed hitter Todd Pratt, left-handed hitter Darrell Hamilton on deck. Left-handers 295, 31 for 105 against Anderson this year with 1 home run. Mr. Darrell Hamilton's the man that hit the home run when he was with Colorado, 521 at Coors.
One the count to Todd Pratt. Member of the Phillies in '93. have won at bat in that NLCS win over Atlanta. Did not play in the World Series against the Blue Jays. A little chop at the third. Matt Williams across the diamond to Colburn, but Benny and the Mets have taken a 2-1 lead through 6.
I'm from AXA Advisors.
AXA Advisors. Yes.
That's a new name.
For thousands of financial professionals like me
And me.
we help people take the long view, achieve goals like college tuition,
A secure retirement.
a better life,
It's all based
on a relationship, a long-term relationship, and soon, very soon,
We can start working.
together.
Building your future.
AXA Advisors, building futures.
I expect a lot of my family. I expect Joe to get heartburn, Tony to get nausea, and Sarah indigestion at the mere sight of food. Instead, Joe would get indigestion, Tony diarrhea, and I'd end up with heartburn. I just keep first aid handy at all times.
Pepto-Bismol relieves more stomach problems than any of these other leading medicines.
I expect the unexpected.
Pepto-Bismol, first aid for heartburn, diarrhea, nausea, indigestion, and upset stomachs.
Picture this, a life without worry, where problems are quickly solved. Picture a future that's financially secure for you and the ones you love. Picture Nationwide, with auto, home, and life insurance products to protect what you hold dear, and retirement planning to help you prepare for your future. If you can picture it, Nationwide can too. Nationwide, insurance, financial services on your side.
An equal housing opportunity insurer.
Listen here, baby. I just only want a burning desire. Let me stand next to you on fire.
The newly restyled 2000 Sunfire. A hotter set of wheels, money left to burn. By Pontiac.
Now playing right field for the Mets.
Diamondbacks trail the Mets 2-1 here in the top of the 7th. They know that they don't come up with a run or two. They'll be going home not the way they want to be going home. Roger Cedeno, after the heroics by Benny Agbayani, Cedeno is now the right fielder. Just cannot speak enough about the job that young Benny Agbayani, not even with the club when they came north in April, hit cleanup Game 3 and Game 4 division series, and he comes through with a pretty big RBI double and 2 for 2 last night. What a great story. Matt Williams swings through this pitch from Al Leiter. It's 1-1. Williams, Colburn, and Finley, the batters here in the Diamondbacks 7th. Matty now 5 for 14 with the 0 for 2 today. Hits this to center. Darrell Hamilton with a good jump on it. 1 up, 1 down. Here's Bill Pito.
All right, Chris, over on ESPN, the wheels have come off for Houston. Braves and Astros. Chris Holt in relief of Shane Reynolds gives up the base hit there off the bat of Andrew Jones. The error allows Jones to go to second. Brian Jordan scores from third, and then Eddie Perez gets through. 2 more runs score. That makes it 5-0 in favor of Atlanta, and they're still batting in the top of the 6th with no out.
Squander those chances. Thank you, Billy. Squander those chances on Game 3 and Game 4, and your heart goes out a little bit, doesn't it? That's the way it looked.
Yeah, and that play should be made right there back to the pitcher. You start giving a team 3 or 4 outs an inning, and they're going to put some runs up.
Yeah, and they're not going to give up any either with Atlanta. So the Braves getting close to being the first team in. Or maybe the Mets this game is ahead of that game. So we'll see. Greg Colburn, who homered to left field for the lone Arizona run. Colburn has been aboard 5 of 6 times in his appearances in Game 2 and Game 4. walked and homered here today. Leiter ahead 1-2 with Finley on deck. Whoa. You know, just thinking, we talked about this in Game 2, and then, of course, that was the one the bottom fell out for the Mets. But Monday night at Cincinnati, playoff-type game. Well, it was a playoff game. Tuesday, Game 1 against Arizona. Friday, Game 3 here last night against Arizona. Today, Game 4 against Arizona. These 4 games. The Mets have led 25 of the 33 innings. They've tied the other 8. They have never trailed in those 4 games that we just detailed. Game 2 got out of hand. But they've kept the pedal on, and so is Colburn to left field. But Ricky Henderson, leaning against the wall, snares it.
Center fielder, Steve Finley.
Well, we got baseball here, and of course football tomorrow. NFL Countdown, Mike Tirico, nice enough to sit in for yours truly on the morning show for 2 hours. Get you set with everything Week 5 of the NFL. And NFL Prime Time. We'll see you at 7:30 if the games continue this way, with Tom Jackson as we run down the fastest 45 minutes in television, everything that's going on. And then we get set for one of our favorite games, 8:15 tomorrow night, the Bay of Pigs. The Tampa Bay Bucks at the Green Bay Packers from Lambeau Field. Countdown, primetime, Bucks packed. Good day of football tomorrow on ESPN. Hope you can join us.
Chris, one of the toughest places to hit a ball out of this ballpark is right in that little swell there. You see right there at the 41-42, a little bit to the right, it extends out. It's 338, then it goes to 358, but there's a little well right in there to the right of 42, right where he hit the ball right there. You can see right there to the left of that sign, there's about a 6-foot indentation there. Makes it a little tougher.
Alfonso to Olerud and a 1-2-3-7 for Al Leiter. Finley is gone. 7th inning stretch time here in New York. Will it be a party?
At BASF, we don't make the snowboard, we make it stronger. We don't make a lot of the products you buy, we make a lot of the products you buy better. BASF.
With technology unavailable in any other SUV, just how smooth is the ride of the new Land Rover? The new Land Rover. Technology you'll be comfortable with.
Your Land Rover retailer has something else you'll be comfortable with. Great lease rates on a Discovery.
So, sir, I think that I could be a real asset to your company.
Jenkins, I think we can use a man like you.
Thank you. Thank you.
For about the price of an ordinary hotel, Residence Inn offers you a living room, too. Just in case you need one. Residence Inn by Marriott. Room to relax, room to work, room to breathe.
3 years ago, my IT guys told me there'd be 2 kinds of businesses. Those with a vision to master the internet, and those without. And we didn't want to be the second kind. So we called Dell. Dell came to see us and showed us how to use the internet for direct relationships with our customers, suppliers, everyone who's a part of our business. With Dell support, there's no limit to where we can go. We always knew we needed the internet. We just didn't know how badly.
Be direct. Dell. Dell servers use Intel Pentium 3 processors.
Still trying to make the major leagues? Log on to MajorLeagueBaseball.com to reach the major leagues every day. Video highlights on demand. Live game audio. 7 days! Get comprehensive World Series coverage and order your official clubhouse cap and tee. MajorLeagueBaseball.com lets you be a part of the major leagues, and it may even help your game.
Leading off the Mets,
Bottom of the 7th and starting to get festive here at Shea Stadium. The Mets have not advanced in the postseason since 1986. And our newer in-game box score as we begin with Darrell Hamilton against Brian Anderson. Alfonso with the home run in the 4th inning, but Benny Agbayani now out of the game, hitting in the cleanup hole. The RBI double in a 3-hit, 1-run 6th. And that's why the Mets are leading 2-1. Luis Gonzalez snares this one. Hamilton is gone. Buck Martinez, Benny Agbayani, what a great success story, hitting cleanup with Piazza injured, and he had a little veteran part about him, huh?
Well, in the 1st inning, Brian Anderson throws him a changeup, and Agbayani pulls it to left field, and then he makes an adjustment in the 6th. A 3-1 changeup down and away with Ricky at 3rd base, and he drives in the 2nd Mets run. He made a good adjustment in his 3rd at bat.
Ray Ordonez ahead of that pitch.
You know, we talked about the other night, Agbayani coming into the league hitting 10 home runs really early off of fastballs. And then people started going to breaking balls and changeups, and he really didn't adjust. He's obviously beginning to adjust, knowing that Anderson had to change up. Just missed that first changeup for a home run, hit it off the end of the bat a little bit.
Broken bat over a leaping bell, and Ordonez is aboard. 1 out, and Leiter coming up. Let's move it over to Bill Pito. What do you have?
Here's what we have over on ESPN. The Braves' onslaught continues in the 6th inning as Gerald Williams, the base hit that drives in 2 more. Atlanta has scored 5 runs now in the 6th, and they're still batting in the 6th. They're up 7-zip.
And they will be, barring a major Astros comeback, the first team in the Division Series history that started in '95, admittedly not steeped in tradition, but the first team that will have lost the first game and will have won the series.
Matty Williams way in at 3rd base, as is Colburn, almost vacating first. Leiter 11 sacrifice bunts this year, tied with Ordonez for the club record, for the club lead.
Foul ball. We've not seen great bunting. We've seen a couple of real good bunts in this series, but a couple of weak efforts. Pop-ups. Foul balls.
Well, if Colburn leaves early, Ordonez can just take off. But with that move, look at Matty Williams. I mean, he's out there about 70 feet from the plate.
Well, and he can't do it again, so the count is 0-2.
You're not going to bunt with your bat barrel laid back. You've got to get the bat barrel out front with your bottom hand down, your top hand above the bottom hand, and then you just catch the ball on the bat barrel, just like catching a ball with your glove. It's just eye-hand coordination. Slide that, in his case, that left-handed up on the bat around the trademark and just catch the ball with the bat barrel. But you can't make contact at the plate or behind the plate because the ball is going to always go straight down, especially if you dip the bat barrel toward the ground.
Is there any question, even with 2 strikes, that here's another bunt attempt?
Well, I think he's got a bunt unless Ordonez can get some type of jump over there if Colburn vacates too early.
I'm just wondering if Matty's a little tight. He doesn't think so. It's popped up, and with nobody at first, they catch a break. So Anderson catches the pop. They're 2 down, and Ricky Henderson up. And Ricky will take all the time in the world to get to the batter's box to get a Leiter organized in the dugout, because after all, Leiter really didn't come to the park today to lay down a sacrifice. It would have been nice, but I think he's contributed in other ways.
Well, I think that's the second most important part of being a pitcher, is being able to bunt and get runners over, because it creates offense. I mean, it's a huge offensive weapon, and for me and my starting pitchers, I'd rather, right after pitching well, I want them to be able to get the ball down, because now you're hitting with runners in second base, runners in scoring position, and make this a 2-run ball game. So he will go back there, as much of a perfectionist as he is, and hammer himself for not doing that. Yes, he should.
He will, and you're absolutely right, by the way. He will. 1-0 pitch to Ricky, who had a 14-pitch at bat the last time up, but not this time. Gilkey in right, and the Mets are gone. Ordonez stranded. 2 innings until possible celebration here at Shea.
Now, what'll it be, sweetheart?
Let me guess. A nice, cold Pepsi. I wouldn't want to hear one of those crazy voices of yours, huh?
Honey, you ain't heard nothing yet. Hit it, fellas.
¿Qué pasa in the world? What happens when it goes so fast? What happens when tomorrow is today? Check it out at quepasa.com. ¿Qué pasa in sports? What's happening with your favorite team? What would happen if you could know about sports instantly? Check it out at quepasa.com.
Your gas comes to $14. Sorry.
Sorry, no personal checks.
We take that.
What?
The one card.
Oh, yeah, the one card.
Hey, I should use this more often.
The one card from Bank One works like a check, only better. Anywhere Visa is accepted.
ESPN's coverage of the divisional playoffs is brought to you by Red Wing Shoes. For the dealer nearest you, call 1-800-359-BOOT. And by Hyundai. Every Hyundai is backed by America's best warranty with 10 years powertrain coverage.
Crowd about 56,000. We'll get the official in a moment. Hoping to see what the Mets have not done since 1986. Win a postseason series. With Henderson retired, Melvin Mora is now the left fielder. So Mora and Cedeno flank Hamilton, who has gone the route in center. 7-8-9 for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Team that won 100 games this year. Played with, well, they're certainly, I mean, on paper they're an expansion team, but with their second year, but played with the maturity and confidence to win 100. For Buck Showalter, they need to dig down and borrow some of that right now. Gilkey's net and a pinch hitter here against Al Leiter.
John Franco just getting up, warming up in the bullpen. Turner Ward, the big right-handed bat on the bench.
Hit by Gilkey to left. Moore just in the game, makes the catch. Our newer in-game box score, Greg Colburn, is the one that solved Leiter for a solo home run in the 5th inning. Finley followed with a single, and that's been it. Tony Womack's struggles continue, and can't say that he's alone, but when you look at the top 4 guys in the order, and it's a complete 0 for 10.
And I wonder, is that just Turner Ward on deck? I just wonder, is that a coincidence that that's the only inning that they got to hit is the inning that you mentioned, the no-hitter?
I'm sure I'll hear about it from Al, and you know we will. Al Leiter worked with us in the postseason last year, and I said, we enjoyed seeing you, but maybe you won't have to work with us, but you'll be working this October, if you know what I mean. He goes, I kind of like that. Kelly Stinnett looks at strike one. Leiter continues to have command. He's throwing pretty much the same. Ray and Buck, I mean, bring you both in on this.
Well, for me, he is. He certainly has been able to establish that fastball in, has not thrown a lot of sliders, pretty much just worked off his fastball in off the plate.
Chopper to Ventura. Olerud, 2 out. And now Turner Ward, with a pinch hit 2-run home run last night, will step to the plate.
Number 10, Turner Ward.
And now with Ward coming up, Dave Wallace, the pitching coach, will go out and visit with Leiter and Pratt.
Well, I'm sure this is just a visit by the pitching coach to give Al Leiter an opportunity to take a deep breath. Bobby Valentine has got the bullpen up. John Franco is throwing behind Leiter down in right field. But Al Leiter all day long has had good stuff. As you look at Franco, he should be ready by now. He's had plenty of time to get loose. But this is Leiter's situation. He's going to face a former teammate in Turner Ward, the switch hitter. Leiter and Ward were together in Toronto, and of course Turner Ward hit the 2-run home run pinch hitting last night against Rick Reed. But Al Leiter has established his fastball. He's been in the strike zone, and you remember about 97, he pitched Game 7 in the World Series. Last Monday, he pitched that big one-game playoff against Cincinnati. He likes these situations.
Obviously, Buck, look at the way he has delivered. He delivers high and tight to Ward. Ball 1. 4 times in their history, the New York Mets have had an opportunity to close out a postseason series here. All 4 times they have delivered.
Now that you have 2 outs in the 8th, John Franco has set down. Armando Benitez, their closer, is now up. So what that tells me that Bobby will use Armando, although Franco is still up out there. But he won't be afraid to use him to get 4 outs to close this game out.
Inside, ball 3.
Well, that's a hitter going up there with a real idea. All 3 of those pitches just borderline off the plate inside. You've seen most of these Diamondbacks chase that ball all day long. Turner Ward has not bid on it.
Well, he took it, and now he will take off his shin protector. And Turner Ward has come in and now represents the tying run with 2 outs. And if ever there was a time for Tony Womack to shake the termites out of that wood, this probably would be a good opportunity, at least from Arizona's perspective.
Tony Womack having a very tough series, 0 for 63 with 6 punch-outs in his 16 plate appearances. Really no right-handed bats over there that manager Buck Showalter feels really good about. You've got Frias, Hanley Frias, a shortstop, and Damian Miller, who has a problem with his hand, so Buck is a little boxed here. Even if he does want to hit for Womack, he doesn't really have any right-handed thunder over there.
Off the glove of Alfonso. Womack with the speed beats it to first. So the normally airtight infield of the Mets, admittedly a very tough play, could not recover.
I don't know how tough that play was, Chris. This is a very long hop. That ball should not be a tough play. That ball hits way out in front of Alfonso. I don't know that if his glove got in front of his eyes or what, but Jerry Colangelo's wife really likes it as she jumps up there. There's the owner of the Arizona Diamondbacks, Dave Wallace, to the mound.
Meanwhile, Wallace to the mound, and Leiter relieves to a hero's reception, and well-deserved. Benitez coming in a 2-1 game.
This is life. This is getting every mile you can out of life.
And this is how you get there. Kelly Charger high-performance tires are engineered for long mileage. Of course, that's no guarantee you'll live harder, go farther. Just an invitation.
Wake up to the thrill of Mach 3, the first triple-blade razor. You take one stroke, it takes 3. For the closest shave in fewer strokes with less irritation. Mach 3 from Gillette.
Let's be honest. There's really no such thing as a gracious winner. You might say things like nice game or shake your opponent's hand. But no matter how humble you are on the outside, deep down on the inside, you're saying, I'm better than you are. The Mitsubishi Galant, ranked the #1 family sedan under 20 grand by Car and Driver. Better than Accord or Camry. Boy, we just love saying that.
Reach across time and see yourself. You stand tall against terrifying enemies. You build masterpieces and break down barriers. You rush into the future and meet your past. For every time, at every moment, the official network of every millennium. The History Channel, where the past comes alive.
My Sports Center meal starts at 9:53 a.m. with the Did You Know as my appetizer for the 10 o'clock show, which is my main course.
It's just filthy with the crossover.
And for dessert, I don't know, the ice cream with the cookie dough is pretty good.
Armando Benitez on to face the dangerous Jay Bell with 2 aboard and 2 out in strike 1. It'll be Benitez to close for Leiter to go the route.
Armando Benitez, straight cheese, 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Slider getting a little bit better. Split finger.
Ray, are you surprised there's not a pinch runner for Turner Ward?
Well,
I am.
Andy Fox is a better runner than Turner Ward. You've got Hanley Frias to play defense. You have Harris and Durazo as left-handed hitters over there. So I'm a little surprised he didn't put Andy Fox to run right here.
Ward is the tying run at second base. 2-1 now to Jay Bell. The go-ahead run is very fast in Tony Womack. His speed enabled him to beat the throw by Alfonso.
Turner Ward,
hit. I'm sorry, Ray.
No, I'm sorry, partner. Turner Ward, a very average runner, Chris. Average at best.
See if that comes into play if Bell gets the bat on the ball. With the speed of Benitez's pitches. Oh, Bell slugs it to left field. Moore is in the corner. It's off the wall. Ward scores. Womack scores. Bell is into second. 3-2 Diamondbacks. Jay Bell, who drew in 112 runs this year, just sat dead red.
Well, we said before the ball game, the Diamondbacks love the fastball. There it is. Middle in, 96 miles an hour. Jay Bell loves to jump all over those fastballs. We talk about him being a high ball hitter. He's just a dead red fastball hitter, period. That ball down, driving it off the wall. You just can't throw balls by this type hitter.
Luis Gonzalez will get a free pass, and that will bring up, with 2 men on, Matt Williams, see of the 142 RBIs. In no way do we mean this disparagingly. However, play made on Womack by Alfonso, the hitting hero to date, inning over. Right?
No question about it. That play should have been made. That's a long hop. Alfonso, as you see, Bobby, you don't want to read what his lips. There's Buck. Little different reaction here, baby. Watch Buck. He's just so professional. Walks back in there and says, "Atta, baby."
Okay, we got a couple of runs, no problem.
I know his insides are churning out, though.
Oh,
He's
man.
the toughest man in America. because I never see him react.
Matt Williams, 0 for 3. High and tight, ball 1 from Benitez. So now remember, Henderson out of the game, Agbayani out of the game for hitting.
Yes, sir. Big point there, Chris.
Now, Henderson might not come up because he just batted. But Agbayani's slot due up third. However, Cedeno can hit. I mean, but a change in what the Mets have available to them in the lineup right now. One and one to Matt Williams. Foul back, just a little above us. 1 and 2. Oh, by the way, if there's a game 5, Randy Johnson gets another crack at the Mets. He'll be matched up with Yoshi again. Ripped by Matt Williams. Bell being sent around third. The throw by Mora. Out at home. He's out. Mora has thrown the runner out to keep this a one-run game. Mora's throw, and Pratt had it aligned. Had to make the dive back. A nice play by the Mets, but the Diamondbacks own their first lead.
First at foot action.
Frogs do not have the active response system. And it shows. Only the Alero has the active response system. 16 features working together to connect you to the road. Of course, if a frog wanted to know more about the active response system, this is where he'd turn. Alero by Oldsmobile. Start something.
Exciting episode of...
Welcome to the age of Vega. Sony Vega, part of the Sony home entertainment universe.
I think AOL is one big community.
It's not hard at all to use.
Customer service is always there to help.
I've never heard of anybody else having what AOL has.
People that are on are just like you.
America Online. So easy to use, no wonder it's #1. Sign up today.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man in baseball because I just found out that Wendy's Bacon Mushroom Melt is back.
Wendy's delicious bacon mushroom melt.
When you gotta have one, you gotta have one. For the first time this afternoon, the Mets are trailing 3-2 Diamondbacks at the bottom of the 8th, thanks to a 2-run double by Jay Bell, who then was thrown out at the plate on a bang-bang throw by Melvin Mora. Buck and Ray, we look at it. Buck Showalter argued, but it looks like Pratt clearly got the tag down, and a good call by Jerry Davis.
Well, look at the catcher, Pratt, come back into the baseline. He puts the tag on the left foot of Jay Bell. They call him out, and it's a very good throw. Buck Showalter came out to argue with Jerry Davis after the inning, said the throw beat him, man. Buck, he had good position. And Melvin Mora comes in defensively, makes an outstanding throw to the plate to nail Jay Bell. Melvin Mora was almost released by the Mets last winter. He was a minor league player. Nobody knew much about him. Cookie Rojas went down to Venezuela to work with Edgardo Alfonso, and he saw Mora. He says, man, we got to bring this guy into camp.
Well, speaking of working with Edgardo Alfonso, Buck, the hitting star, and now feeling probably pretty bad about the miscue, although it was a hit, made in the field. Edgardo Alfonso homered to left in the fourth inning. Alfonso, Olerud, and Cedeno now hitting against the right-handed reliever Greg Olson. There are a couple more changes. We'll get them for you in a moment. Tony Womack is going from short to right field, where he plays most of the time, and the new shortstop is Hanley Frias. And the pitcher is going to bat ninth. Womack, of course, already in the game. So Frias goes in Gilkey's spot, which is the 7-hole.
Greg Olson, 91-mile-an-hour fastball, but it's very, very straight. His out pitch is that curveball. He doesn't like to throw his fastball very often. Not really proud of it. So you can look for him. If he misses with that curveball and get these guys in a fastball situation, you could see somebody jump all over him real quickly. Matt Manti has not been used all year long with a runner on base. Buck Showalter always gives it to him clean.
Which explains part of the decision-making that Buck made on Game 1 when Schwinnard was in, surrendering the home run to Alfonso, which he said, why is everybody even talking about it? Because I got my ground ball from Schwinnard. Just couldn't get the next one. But that was Game 1. His team has battled back valiantly in Game 2. And, of course, you're facing elimination with 2 innings to go to grab the lead. But Alfonso has a batter's count 3-1. Stinnett will give it a look, but it's safely on the screen. We should tell you that if the Mets come back and rally, and there is a celebration here, we will stay here after the game to bring you some of the celebration, but that's not in the mind of our Marno Benitez. That will happen. We would maybe even hear the yelps from the ESPN zone all the way in New York. Who knows? With that happening, a big celebration there, but it's all on hold. And all of a sudden, LaGuardia Airport, a couple of miles down the road here, becomes a factor for Game 5. Tying run aboard. And that'll bring up John Olerud in his career 5 for 9 against Greg Olson. And certainly Buck Showalter aware of that. So Olson won't do it. He'll bring in Zeke. Greg Swindell. Can you hear the wheels turning here at Shea Stadium? We'll be back.
In Australia, history doesn't gather dust in museums. It's alive in the rocks, in the music, and in the stories of the Aboriginal people. Experience the world's oldest living culture, Australia. Come and take a day.
The rugged Montana from Pontiac. With seats that create space on demand.
I need more room!
Pretty handy when you need room fast.
Never seen a minivan do that before.
Maybe it's not really a minivan. Life is more exciting in Montana. Like Pontiac.
Mom, Dad, a 37-year-old that lives at home should pay rent.
It's great, Mark.
But I want airline miles. Or points.
I don't understand.
My rent would earn me airline miles. And with points, I could upgrade to, like, grandma's room.
Like a rewards program.
Whatever.
Yeah, what does this look like, a Holiday Inn?
More ways to collect and redeem points than any other hotel program. That's today's Holiday Inn.
A blitzing 290-pound linebacker knocked John Elway unconscious. A concerned team physician kneeled over Elway. Johnny said, "Do you know where you are?" Elway sat up, looked around, and said, "Yeah, I'm 3rd and 18 on the 21-yard line."
Expect more from an original. Original Coors. Brewed a mile high.
My beer? It's got to be original.
For years, the view from the harbour bridge was reserved for the odd, adventurous seagull. But these days, even you can take a peek.
You're going to have to open your eyes first.
Australia. Come and say good day.
Back at Shea Stadium, Chris Berman, Ray Knight, Buck Martinez in our Clarendon game summary. Well, by the way, Arizona leads the game 3-2 on a 2-run double by Jay Bell off of reliever Armando Benitez with 2 outs. Arizona's first lead of the game. Left-handed Greg Swindell on to face John Olerud. Olerud has gotten a base hit off of every other lefty the Diamondbacks have thrown at him in this series, so Swindell will get a shot with the tying run Alfonso at first.
Alfonso, good base stealer. Greg Swindell, not a real good move. Very slow to the plate. Kind of casts his leg up and out when he goes to first base. Always been a guy that you can run on a little bit.
Olerud 0 for 6 lifetime against Swindell. Matt Manti, the Iceman. Well, Al Leiter says more like Vanilla Ice, came in with a half frost a couple of years ago when they were teammates with the Florida Marlins. We've not seen Manti at all. He's warming up. Not a big guy, but he throws some gas. 2-1 to Olerud.
The only thing about Matt Manti is that he doesn't come in and just go 1, 2, 3, see you later. He's one of those guys that, like they say, pitches with his hair on fire. He throws a lot of balls, a lot of 3-2 counts, gets ahead of hitters a lot of times with bases loaded.
Slicing down the left field line, and it's in the seats. You know what? You always like to get things right here. So our Clarendon game summary, hopefully it'll be clear. The Diamondbacks have their first lead of this game, 3-2, thanks to Jay Bell's 2-run double. Colburn's solo homer in the 5th was the first hit that Al Leiter had surrendered. Both Leiter and Brian Anderson pitched beautifully. LaFons with another home run, his 3rd against the Diamondbacks. And Benny Agbayani has impressed in the cleanup spot for the 2nd straight day that he's hit there because Mike Piazza not available. There goes the base runner on 2-2, and Alfonso will go back.
John Olerud does not strike out very much. In fact, he walked 125 times this year, only punched out 65. So Bobby Valentine 2-2 count, trying to stay out of the double play, keeping the shortstop honest because Olerud hits a lot of balls that way. Actually, Jay Bell was covering on that particular move towards second.
We'll do it again that time. Alfonso not moving.
The New York Mets led the National League and grounded in 2 double plays. A lot of that because of Mike Piazza, who led all of baseball.
Well, Olerud was second with 22. Piazza had 27. Olerud 22. Good point, Ray. 2-2 count. And Swindell will keep an eye on Alfonso. Alfonso not a major threat to go anywhere. Of course, in a looking stolen base, he has 9 at 9 in the regular season. And what kind of speed he has.
Swindell, very easy to read, though, Chris. He keeps throwing over there, giving you your best move. What you need to do now is get what they call a one-way lead, where you get the biggest lead that you possibly can, lean back to first base just a little bit with your weight on the inside of your left toe, and then get his best move. See what his best move is.
Here he goes. We'll do it again. Fouled out of play. But by the way, you know what was refreshing? One of the many things about this game, which has been great. He played 7 innings in 2 hours. That's great.
That is great, man.
I mean, this inning there's more going on, of course, but first 7 innings, 2-1 Mets after 7 with Leiter and Anderson twirling 2 hours. Playoff baseball at its best. You know, we've had the game tied in the 9th inning, game 1, won by the slam 8-4, but Diamondbacks pretty much all the way in game 2, and the Mets pretty much all the way in game 3. Just a little different, and we'll do it again.
Well, this is what great teams do, great offensive teams. They keep spoiling pitch after pitch after pitch until they get a good ball to hit. You foul off those pitches that are nasty, maybe up, borderline, down and away, borderline, and it wears a pitcher out. We saw that with Ricky Henderson's at bat, which I believe led to Olerud's big base hit, as Anderson made a mistake in that big 6th inning.
This will be, when he comes to the plate, Ray, the 9th pitch from Swindell to Olerud. We saw Roger Cedeno now in right field for Agbayani. He's in the on-deck circle. Ventura after that. And Benny was great. But he can only watch it now.
This is a huge pitch because if you get to count the 3-2, then Alfonso can wait and make sure he pitches before he starts toward the second base and still stay out of a double play and get to third base on a base hit on a regular single.
Inside, and here is that full count, Ray.
Well, there's no guarantees that he's going to go 3-0. I mean, with nobody out, no guarantees he's going to go. But I got to believe that he's going to be moving on this pitch right here with Olerud's ability to make contact and his pinch it to hit into double plays.
Time called. Jay Bell in with a couple of words to Swindell. Mookie Wilson, the first base coach, with a couple of words to Alfonso.
Well, this is a decision made by the man in the dugout, but I don't necessarily like it because what it does, it creates a bigger and better lead for the guy at first base, making it almost impossible to keep him off the shortstop.
Ripped by Olerud to right center field. Womack is back. Oh, he dropped it. He dropped the ball. Womack just dropped the ball. Olerud to second. Alfonso to third. Womack played most of the game at short. His shift's gone into right field, even though that's his normal position. So a nightmare of a series for him continues. And now all of a sudden, the tying and winning runs or go-ahead runs are in scoring position.
Shea Stadium right field is the sun field. It's starting to get a little brighter here. I'm not sure that he didn't have the sunglasses on. Also, look as he puts his glove up. He didn't flip them down. His glove goes up right in front of his eyes. I think his glove blinded his eyes. One more time. I've had this happen to me one time at third base. Look at that glove. Can't see the ball going into your glove.
Oh, boy, what a mistake. The Diamondbacks, who had 3 errors last night and made several other miscues of the mental variety, have just put themselves into deep trouble with Roger Cedeno at the plate. Outside and high, ball 1.
5th error this series for the Diamondbacks, and this is a tough call right here for Buck. You've got a great runner, good contact guy. You've got your infield back, which is good because you're going to be able to knock the ball down. I'm not sure that you don't go ahead and walk a guy, try to make one good pitch, get 2 outs. Because in this situation, you're going to end up having to make at least 2 good pitches, maybe 3 good pitches if you go through all 3 hitters. When you walk a guy to get the bases loaded, then your pitcher just has to make 1 good pitch. Who knows? You might hit a ground ball to third, home to first, double play. But with first base open, all the pressure's on the defense.
Strike on the outside corner, 2-1.
Bobby Bonilla, a possibility as a pinch hitter. Matt Franco, the left-handed bat over there.
Fouled away, so Swindell has gotten back to 2-2. Are you still not in favor of it?
I'm not in favor of it because you're playing the last game possibly of a series. You're on the road. You're not going to get the last at bat. You got to try right here, in my mind, go ahead and walk this guy and try to get Ventura to hit in a double play with a lefty-lefty matchup. Hope that he hits the ball right at somebody. If not, you've got to get 3 outs with that runner on third. 2 chances for sacrifice fly.
Fly ball. Womack. Moving over in center is Finley. Easily scoring is Alfonso. Olerud to third, and we're tied up at 3. Ventura will look to do the same thing with a fly ball.
Now you're going to walk Ventura here with a matchup. He's only 4 for 17 against Swindell to face the right-hander Pratt.
And you better turn 2.
Pratt 2 for 6 lifetime against Swindell. Very difficult to double up in defense of not. Well, I changed my mind. I'm thinking about not walking Cedeno. Very difficult to double up Cedeno. Not difficult at all to double up Ventura. That's why they make the big bucks.
That's right. Cedeno did his job with the fly ball.
But what you do now, you've created 2 easy opportunities to score runs by having runners at third base less than 1 out. You never know what would have happened the other way, but
Tony Womack just hoping for some redemption because that was just disastrous. Matt Manti now wondering if he's coming in, but tie game. They're just hoping it can stay tied. One thing Arizona has in their favor, Olerud, Ventura, Pratt, none of them move. But they'll move on a fly ball to the outfield, and here comes Buck. You would imagine a double switch. It is going to be Matt Manti, so forget about pitching with the slate clean. There's no slate if they don't win this game. We'll be back.
We want to find out why this hover bike is here. And
I don't have no idea why it's there. Like I said, I went in and wanted to look at it to see if there was any foul play involved.
Let me finish my question, and then you can answer, okay?
Stay with her. 22, I'm in pursuit.
It's Jet Moto 3. The pure adrenaline and insane speed you've always wanted without all the tickets. The rush is back.
9-8 Studios. Freeze right there,
Hey! Do you know what time it is? Please, people are trying to sleep down there.
Please.
Let nothing stand in your way. The 4-wheel drive Passport from Honda.
So what if you had to give up one phone call a day?
Not only is it red, but bright red.
Just one.
Yeah. And then she wears these earth tones. Well, at least, what are you going to wear?
Could you do it?
Let's all wear red.
Before you answer, you should know that one of the most effective deterrents to kids using drugs is parents and the time they spend with their kids.
I told her.
What's up, Glow Boy? You need to make a call?
Oh, need to
Nah, you don't need any change. Just dial 1-800-COLLECT. Yeah, 1-800-COLLECT. You can save $1 or $2. Go ahead, try it. Don't mention it. Just tell all your buddies. Tourists. 1-800-COLLECT. Save $1 or $2.
Many moves, some of them head-scratching, being made right now by the D-backs. As we are 3-3, bottom of the 8th. Matt Williams on a double switch has been taken out of the game by Buck Showalter. He just was the last man up. Lenny Harris goes to third. Matt Manti is in the pitch and will hit in that 4 spot, and Harris will hit 9th. But Ray, you're looking for a double play, and Matt Williams is your best fielder.
I don't really understand this move right here, Buck. There's Matty Williams. You've got to have a double play in this situation. Matt Manti, first time with the Marlins in a situation, runs on second, first, and third. You are only going to throw Matt Manti 2 innings max. 2 innings max. He is the 5th hitter if there is a no double switch. In order to be the 5th hitter, they're probably going to end up pinch hitting for him and win the ball game, and you got to go to somebody else there. But to get your best offensive player out of the game, your best defensive player out of the game, tough call.
Todd Pratt is up. We've seen Agbayani excel with Piazza's absence by hitting in the cleanup spot. Can Pratt deliver the go-ahead sac fly? Buck Martinez, you baffled as we are?
Well, just think back to game 1 with the bases loaded when Matt Williams made that great play on Ricky Henderson to nail the runner at the plate. Same situation right here, and he's a Gold Glover.
Swung on and missed. Manti throws the heat. Olerud, the go-ahead run at third base. Ventura is at first with 1 out.
If you're Buck Showalter, of course, with Olerud at third base, what you're thinking about is Manti's ability to strike out 2 runners, and a ground ball is never a problem.
Back to Manti, and Olerud is caught in a pickle. If he can delay long enough, he's tagged out. Ventura to second, and Pratt to first. Good job by Manti. Contact, no question there by Olerud.
Absolutely. Got to stay out of the double play. You got to stay out of the double play there. Now you still have a runner in second base, scoring position, base hit. Puts the Mets ahead. You're always taught, runner on first. You're at third base. Ball hit back to the pitcher. Stay out of the double play.
And did Manti hurt his foot or his ankle or toe on that play? Certainly what they're looking at, Ray.
He hurt some or that trainer wouldn't be out there.
Yeah, well, I know that, but... Oh, so all the moves, the best laid plans of mice and men, perhaps go awry.
See, the thing about a double switch, too, while we're looking at this, you can double switch anywhere. Even though Williams may have made the last out, you could go all the way back up to Womack, who's playing right field, and make that double switch there, put your pitcher in that situation, gain at least a spot, and have Lenny Harris to play right field because he's played more outfield than he has infield.
He kind of turned his ankle a little bit, or the toe.
Looks like he kind of hit right there on the seam and turned his ankle just a little bit right there.
Well, here's Darrell Hamilton fouling the first pitch off. So now the go-ahead run is at second base in the person of Robin Ventura. Todd Pratt is at first. Ball 1-1.
Matt Manti, very fresh, hasn't pitched in this series yet, so that would tell you that he could go 2 innings. Although the majority of the year he was used as a 1-inning pitcher, begs me to think, why not start him if you're going to use him in this inning? Let him start the inning off with a 1-run lead to go all the way through. But of course, Had the matchups of the left-hander. Didn't know all this stuff was going to break loose.
Well,
But it doesn't matter with him, right or left. He'll put you away.
Came over in a trade just before the All-Star break from Florida and totally changed the complexion of this Arizona bullpen, did Matt Manti. Behind Hamilton, 2-1. And runners are all over the place, and they can't catch the ball down at short. Boy, Stinnett was looking at first, was looking at second. Everybody dancing.
Well, what you do there is you run directly toward the guy. You run at him right now. You don't go to throw it. You run at him. He's halfway there. Then you come up and throw the ball with your gun cocked. What about it, Buck? You've done that before, big boy.
Yeah, he got out there so far that Stinnett's play is to just go out and make the runner make a commitment. By the time he double clutches, it's too late to get him at second.
2-2 pitch to Hamilton. Do it again.
What a game, man.
Yeah?
Guy
you just noticed, huh?
Hey, threatening.
This just in.
Yeah. Threatens a no-hitter till you talk about it.
Yeah, right. Thank you.
Second baseman boots a ground ball, and he made 5 errors all year. Right fielder drops a ball that he should have had.
Team facing elimination. Team trying to clinch it home.
The best player on the bench, possible MVP candidate.
And now a full count, so this is one of those times when everybody moves.
I love this game.
Yeah, this is great. Everybody moving. Ventura will be gone. Pratt will be gone. Will the tie be gone? Oh, this is going to be trouble. Gonzalez. Foul ball.
Oh, we got to see that again. We got to see that again.
Charlie Williams down the line. Foul by, as Maxwell Smart would say, missed it by that much. Look at Manti.
I'll tell you what now. I thought the ball hit right on the line.
Well, so did Cookie Rojas. And here comes Valentine. Here he comes.
We're going to get a shot of this. I thought the ball was right on the line. Remember, it doesn't have to hit inside the line, any part of that white line. All it has to do is nick it. Just get a little piece of that white line, and it's a fair ball.
Valentine. Rojas is incensed. What's he doing? He's gone. He just hit him.
Well, I know that, but I'm telling you this is what happened. I've been thrown out of 2 games with Charlie Williams, and he gets right in your face and says a lot of things. With this type of intensity, it's a matter of baiting, and I hate to say it, and I don't want to see that. Any coach doing that. Cookie Rojas has been around a long time. This ball game means everything to everybody out there. He obviously, in his mind, knows that play was missed. We're going to see it a little bit later. But Charlie Williams has a tendency to talk to umpires strong. I mean, to managers strongly. He once threw me out of a game when I was running out across the mound at second base. I never got there, and he threw me out of the game.
Now the rest of the umpiring crew just trying to restore order, and then maybe they'll get back to the argument, by the way.
Well, you've known Cookie Rojas a long time. I've known him for 25 years. He is not one of these type of people. He is a fighter, a battler. He keeps his mouth shut. I've never seen him incensed like this.
Well, here's our glimpse at it now. Yikes.
I'll tell you one thing, buddy.
There's one look. We got some more, guys. You know what? On that look, let's see. On that look, it looked. Hey, you know what? Show that one more time, and I think everybody saw it was foul. Show that one more time, Dougie. The last one is the one for sure. There it is.
I don't know. I don't know. How do you know that white line is right there? All you got to do is nick it. All you got to do is nick it. I'm telling you.
Well, that missed by less than inches, that's for sure. Oh, by the way, it's ball 4. say the bases are loaded. And here's Ray Ordonez. Have we had a few things this half inning? Bobby Valentine coaching third base. Now the Cookie Rojas has been tossed.
He's probably the only one that knows the signs out there. Hey, your third base coach and your manager work daily on signs and directives. And nobody else in that dugout has coached third this year. Bobby V has coached third a lot in his career in the big leagues. So there he is.
And he's staring right at Manti. Look at it. It's great. Strike on the outside corner to Ordonez. Ray is 1 for 3. Singled his last time up. Well, if you're not enjoying this game, please check your pulse.
I better not check mine. I might be running away. Oh, man.
Strike 2. Manti ahead 0-2.
Bobby has Matt Franco out on deck.
Who is a fine pinch hitter, has won several games with late pinch hits this year.
John Franco up in the pen again.
And Matt Franco, John Franco may be coming in, but the issue right now is Ordonez. Fouled a good job because that was borderline strike 3, and he whacked at it and stayed alive.
Outfielders for the Arizona Diamondbacks, very, very shallow, daring Ray Ordonez, especially in center and right center.
Look at the left center of the hole. Fouled it back. Ventura back to third. Pratt back to second. Hamilton back to first.
As long as he keeps throwing him that fastball away, they can play everybody on the right side of the infield. And he is barely getting the bat barrel on that ball. And any ball that he is going to hit fair with that swing and that same type velocity is going to go to right field.
Ordonez staying alive. It's that tight. This game is reminiscent of some of those in that Houston playoff in '86. One game where David Dykstra was the star. Strike 3. Manti has struck out Ordonez. The bases end up loaded. Everybody take a deep breath now. We're heading to the ninth. 3-3. That's better now.
Hi, I'm Doug Flutie, pro football player and father of an autistic child. I started the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation to help less fortunate families of autistic children get the support they need. Here's a way you can help. Just dial 1010-220. All calls up to 20 minutes are only 99 cents, and 1010-220 will make a donation to the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation every time you use it. So dial 1010-220, get up to 20 minutes for only 99 cents, and help some great kids at the same time. It's a win-win situation.
It is more than a trial by fire. It is a rite of passage. And if you can master your fear, outsmart your enemy, and never yield even to yourself, you will be changed forever. The few, the proud, the Marines.
I was born hungry, but I was born Italian. So that never happened again. Tonight, we had the perfect meal for us. The Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl. You pick any of their special pastas, and you get all the free refills you want. Ooh, spaghetti with meat sauce, fettuccine Alfredo, you name it. The bowls keep coming until you say, ooh, when. And the same for salad and breadsticks, all for $6.95.
I'm gonna eat it all.
That's Cousin Al. Nobody's ever heard this guy say when.
I love this place.
Olive Garden. When you're here, you're family.
Okay, so you want another look, huh?
I do.
All right. Buck, you were down the left field line. Ray, you're here. Fans at home, Darrell Hamilton's bid at winning the game. Called foul by Charlie Williams. Foul.
The first baseman.
It's foul.
You're seeing the main part of the divot. Look at where it's black.
Buck, you're down. Buck,
I'm sitting.
bail us out here.
I'm sitting behind home plate, looking right down the third base line, and when the ball was hit live, I felt like it was foul. I think it is off the foul line. Charlie Williams has a pretty good position, and he had a good look at it, and to me, the ball was foul.
Well, let me tell you one quick story. Playing third base, ground ball over the bag, bounces, hits the edge of the chalk line, right in front of the umpire. He calls it a foul ball. I point down, get ejected, because there was a little spot right on the edge of the foul line, and the center of the ball was a good 2 inches away, but that ball's 3.5 inches wide.
From this angle, and Buck, you're down there, it looked like Charlie made the right call, albeit by a millimeter.
Let me say something about the foul line. It's painted now. It used to be chalk, and that would have kicked up dust had it been chalk.
That's a great point.
Greg Colburn is facing Armando Benitez to lead off the ninth inning. Remember, Matt Williams out of the game. Manti certainly did his job. Let's see if the Diamondbacks win it or lose it before Williams would come to bat, or Lenny Harris makes a miscue at third. Keep that in the back of your head. Colburn gone, who was homered earlier, and he is gone 1 out of the 9. Billy Pito, what do you have?
All right, Chris, we have a developing situation here in the Astrodome over on ESPN. Look out, down 7-1, Ken Caminiti, third home run of the series. 3-run shot, the Stros have added another, 7-5, and they're still batting in the bottom of the 8th.
Who's in that game now? Obviously, Smoltz is gone. We'll get the update on who's in. These Maddox and Millwood in relief yesterday. So this would be Glavine? No, I'm only kidding. He pitched yesterday. But at any rate, the issue here is 3-3. Steve Finley, 1 for 3, singled in the 5th, 2 infield groundouts. 2 flamethrowers, Benitez and Manti pitching. And while I think we gave you a pretty good view down the line and pictures and everything today, and while you're enjoying this game at home, foul back. We've assembled a pretty good team here at Shea Stadium, we think, and that's really our thanks to our producer, Jay Cutlow, who is not with us and is home recovering from serious stomach surgery. I know we're making him churn in the bed. We're thinking about him here, and hopefully the club that he's put together here has helped you all at home enjoy these games. A speedy recovery, and Jay enjoying the game like the rest of us. I want to make sure we got that in. It's not to say that Jeff Kibler isn't a good job in the chair here.
Jeff Kibler's doing a wonderful job. We just missed the cutter, don't we?
Yeah, we did. It's almost a schmutzrag day here. It's by the way that inning unfurled, I'll tell you that. 2-2 the count to Steve Finley with 1 out here in the 9th. Timeout. Finley, of course, member of the NL champ Padres last year. Would love to return again, representing another team in the NL West. To the series, that is. Finley had the 5 RBIs in game 2.
Armando cranking it up.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. Little chopper, no, we'll do it again. Well, of course, in case there is a 5th game, it'll be tomorrow evening on Fox, late afternoon on the West Coast. Randy Johnson to try and snap his 6-game postseason losing streak against Masato Yoshi. Yoshi went toe-to-toe with him in game 1. No travel day, just a flight this afternoon, game tomorrow night. Finley to right field. Cedeno was there. 2 out. And unfortunately, we talked about, we've known him a long time, Cookie Rojas, but this will cost him with the shove, Ray. I mean,
Yeah, it will.
you just can't do it.
No, you can't. There's a lot of things go out there verbally, though. I'm telling you, there's a lot of exchange, and you can't push a guy. I mean, you just can't push a guy.
What we saw, Charlie on the money. Not an easy job. This is Hanley Frias, who went in the game at shortstop an inning ago, his first at bat, batting in Gilkey's spot, the 7-hole.
Yeah, and another deal, too, and I know I'm that way, when you know that you're right, and Charlie obviously felt that he was right, and our pitchers seemed to second that, you know, you're a little stronger when somebody comes at you and you know you're absolutely right.
Yes. Good point, Ray. It's not going to change now.
I still thought it would fail.
I know what you thought. It looks like the Astros have been retired in the 8th, so they go to the 9th now, a 7-5 game at the Dome, Atlanta leading, and the Met fans want to go to the 9th here with a chance for their club to bring home the bacon. 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases clear. Frias to batter. Struck him out. Pair of strikeouts this inning for Armando Benitez. We head to the bottom of the 9th. Can the Mets move on to the NLCS?
Got a problem? Want a refund? Need help? When you have a complaint, don't talk to the hand. Take it to the man.
My name's Skidmore, Rich Skidmore.
Chasing down the bad guys, asking the tough questions.
Why don't you speak with us? Are you afraid of the camera?
Rich Skidmore and 3 on your side are working the streets and getting your money back. It's nice to have someone on your side, but when you really need help, you need 3 on your side.
Back in New York, and a bottom of the 8th that's almost Rod Serling-esque. With 1 out and Alfonso at first base, with none out, Alfonso on with a walk. John Olerud fly ball to right, a long run, but certainly catchable, and Tony Womack boots it. Sac fly ties it. Darrell Hamilton almost wins it with a double, called just foul by Charlie Williams, resulting in the ejection of third base coach Cookie Rojas. And now in the bottom of the 9th inning, in the footsteps of some great left-hand pinch hitters that they have had here with the New York Mets. Le Grand Orange, Rusty Staub comes to mind. Ed Kranepool comes to mind. This is the latter-day Crane in orange. Matt Franco. Franco will bat against the fireballer, Matt Manti. Franco himself has had several big hits. A blue pit that he won against Houston in August for a game-winning single. 2 runs in the 9th on his 2-run single on the game here in July 10th to beat the Yankees, just to mention a couple. His first pitch is on and through everything. Bobby Valentine, in the heat of the moment, went to third base to coach that 8th inning, but Bobby now back in the dugout, and Bruce Eggs Benedict is the third base coach. Yikes. Franco, whose uncle is actor Kurt Russell, has had some big roles himself. Maybe this will be one of them. If there is celebration, we will keep it here. If there is tribulation, we won't. A day that began with Keith Hernandez and Mookie Wilson throwing out the first pitch, and another hero of the 86 series, Ray Knight, sitting to my right. The Mets, a day that continued with Al Leiter, who's brilliant. Has now become a game they'll probably talk about for a while. Matt Williams done for the day. Hard to believe, Ray.
Maybe for the season.
Yep. Benny Agbayani drove in the Mets' second run, impressed in the cleanup spot. Cedeno has replaced him in the outfield. Womack struggled. We'll talk about him in a moment. This will be out of play. Been a tough go for Tony Womack. 2 hits, albeit kind of a gift hit from Alfonso, which turned out to be a key play, but the miscue on Olerud's fly ball.
Well, Tony Womack played the first 6 innings of this game, first 7 innings at shortstop. Moved out to right field when they made the change with Hanley Frias at shortstop.
Never got adjusted to the sun. Anti outside to Matt Franco, full count. Leadoff man, bottom of the 9th. And they have moved to the bottom of the 9th, apparently at the Astrodome in a 7-5 game. We'll keep you posted. John Rocker trying to close it for the Braves. Fouled it off. Who would have thought a week ago the Mets hoping to get in, and they're in a position, Ray, to get into the next round of the playoffs before the Yankees.
Anything can happen, man. As we said, as long as 3 weeks ago, maybe even longer than that, there were no captains in the National League this year as far as the people that were in contention. Every ball club was solid. No clear, overpowering team or team that set itself apart.
Ball 4. The winning run is aboard. Melvin Mora, who went in defensively and made a key throw to cut down the would-be 4th run at the plate to end the 8th inning. Mora in for Henderson at that spot, and so this will be his first at bat. So the Mets, who in '69 had a chance to close out the Braves in Game 3 of the NLCS, did it. The Mets, who had a chance to close out the Baltimore Orioles in the '69 World Series in Game 5 here, did it. Alfonso on deck. Would it only be fitting? Here's the bunt. A good one. Franco easily to second. Manti to first. The Mets closed out the Reds in the '73 NLCS in Game 5. And the Mets closed out the Red Sox in Game 7 of the World Series in '86. Can they do the same and make it 5 for 5? And who better to have at the plate, Ray, than Edgardo Alfonso?
Yeah, and that's why it's so tough to pitch to these guys, because if you go get Edgardo, you got Olerud, as you have Sean Dunston going in the pinch run.
Dunston a run for Franco. We saw his wheels in Arizona. 36 years young, runs like a 26-year-old. Alfonso, then Olerud. Alfonso was homered. And he scored the tying run in the 8th when he walked to lead off the inning. High and tight. Leadoff walk in the 8th. He scores the tying run. Leadoff walk in the 9th. Will that be the winning run? One and one. I told you before, that's Bruce Benedict now coaching third, the bench coach for Bobby Valentine. It'll be his decision whether on a single to wave Dunston home or hold him up.
Well, I tell you right now, Sean Dunston, the way he runs, base hit, he's going to try to score it.
Battling the sun is Frias, the new shortstop. 2 out. Big pitch by Manti to a tough hitter.
Now he's got a situation here with first base open where he really has 2 hitters to try to make a pitch. Buck Showalter going to go out and remind him of just that. What you do here, if you don't want to face Olerud, then you just go ahead and put him on. But if you feel like you want to try to get him out, then you make a pitch. If it's not a strike, you make another pitch. After 2 balls, you generally just go ahead and put him on over there.
Roger Cedeno is on deck. Much faster, obviously.
Yeah, but I would walk him with 2 outs. I'd walk Olerud in this situation. I know he can drive in some runs. 96 RBI on the year. 107 runs scored. Hit .298 with 19 home runs.
Well, normally the cleanup spot is Mike Piazza, but instead, Agbayani drove in the Mets' second run for a 2-1 lead in this slot, and Cedeno hit the sac fly in this slot to tie the game at 3. And it'll be Cedeno's attempt to send the Mets forward in the playoffs and send the Diamondbacks home. So here it is. Dunston, the winning run at second. And Roger Cedeno to the plate with 2 outs, bottom of the 9th.
The Mets down to Bobby Bonilla and Mike Piazza as their only 2 bench players.
You moving forward in your seat a little bit?
Yes, sir. I'm almost tipping this thing over.
Inside from Matt Manti. Started as a shortstop. Loved playing every day. You realize that being a relief pitcher, you could throw it hard and play a lot of days. That would be okay. Sean Dunston, the lead. Second base. Bell the flip to Frias, and we will go to extras. Matt Manti has stared disaster in the face, and he stared it down. We're headed to the 10th at Shea.
A new report in a leading medical journal suggests the excess risk of breast cancer associated with alcohol consumption may be reduced by folic acid. Centrum has folic acid. When a vitamin is in the news, it's in Centrum.
Imagine, if you will, driving in a world where tires from Yokohama dominate the track with speed, grip, and control. Imagine what this could mean to you. Greater stopping power, more response, more of the kind of performance you want most in a tire. Just imagine. Fantasy? I don't think so. It's Yokohama. Call 1-800-366-TIRE.
Looking for a wireless phone is enough to make your head spin. Analog, PCS, calling areas, night minutes, weekend minutes. Then I went to Circuit City. They helped me find a great phone and the perfect rate plan.
Circuit City has wireless phones from top brands like Nokia, Ericsson, Motorola, and more, and rate plans to fit every lifestyle. Right now, you'll get a free $40 Circuit City gift card with your wireless phone purchase. Let Circuit City clear the air on wireless phones today.
A new report in a leading medical journal suggests the excess risk of breast cancer associated with alcohol consumption may be reduced by folic acid. Centrum has folic acid. When a vitamin is in the news, it's in Centrum.
Top of the 10th inning, and we're still knotted at 3. The Diamondbacks staving off elimination, and now they have a chance to bust ahead. They'll try and do it against John Franco, who after 878 games finally appeared in the postseason the other night. Means he doesn't pass Lindy McDaniel as the pitcher who appeared in the most games of ever hurling in the postseason. John Franco lives out on Staten Island, Lafayette High School in Brooklyn. Went to St. John's, New York through and through, turned 39 on September the 17th, and in his 16th season has finally made it to the postseason. He was a Red when the Mets were good in 86 and 88, then was traded for Randy Myers before the Reds got good. And the Mets went south, Ray.
Yeah, and he's a great competitor. Being here with this organization, had opportunities to leave, stayed here. Armando Benitez has taken that closing role away from him, but still a very valuable guy, always very upbeat. Throws that fastball that runs away, change up, a big looping curveball. You can bet that he has got some serious butterflies out there, but he's not scared.
Matt Williams, remember, moved on a double switch. So we won't see him again this afternoon, not in the game. Kelly Stinnett, Lenny Harris in that double switch, and Tony Womack. Arizona 11 and 10 in extra inning games. The Mets 6 and 5. Stinnett has struck out twice and is grounded to third. Stinnett just 2 for 13 in this series. And after all the excitement, I mean, it's quieted down quite a bit.
Because the other team's hitting. When the Mets are hitting it, they go nuts.
No, I understand. It's a little too much to take there for a while. It's great stuff. Great stuff. 2-1. Guarding the line at third is Ventura. And for good reason. 2-2. Looking in the Arizona pen, Ray, and there's no one.
Hey, when he decided to take Matt Williams out, and that meant that he was going to have Manti in there for 3 innings, because if there was only going to be 2 innings, Manti would not have gotten up this past inning. So it's his game. Going with his best.
Just missed outside. Count is full to Stinnett.
Outfield very deep. Look at the left fielder there. Playing very deep. No double situation here. Bobby Valentine plays that especially with his outfield. First baseman off the line. Ventura shedding the line 1 step.
Ripped and foul. Ventura, you're right. I mean, we pointed it out. He's not going to be too far away. He's going to be able to make any play that's in fair territory.
Be able to knock the ball down over there and prevent a double. Sometimes it will be a ball that's hooking over the bag, and you have to really actually get out there in 3 or 4 feet of foul territory. But the whole idea there is make sure that you can get a 1 or 2 step dive and at least knock the ball down and keep it from going down in that corner.
Struck him out. Kirk Wendell up throwing in the Mets pen just in case. Although Franco's just begun and he blew this past him, Ray.
Yeah, he did. Johnny he'll mesmerize you up there a little bit, throwing you all that off-speed stuff, and then come back with a straight 4-seam fastball right over the top. A little slider there, 84 miles an hour. Just a master of changing speeds, moving the ball in and out, up and down.
This is Lenny Harris, who can do a lot of things for you. He's gone in to play third base. One thing that he has 115 career pinch hits. That's 6th all-time in Major League history. Manny Mota has the most with 150. Smokey Burgess, legendary, with 145. Greg Gross, $140. Jose Morales, 123. Jerry Lynch in the 60s, 116. And Harris, 115. Pretty good.
Lenny's got a chance to get wailing up there. He had 26 pinch hits this year, was second all-time to John Vanderwall's 28, which he had in 95 in Colorado. So you're talking about, or you're looking at probably the premier left-handed pinch hitter in the league, he and Johnny Vanderwall.
Little chopper. Oh, nice play by Franco. Oh, man. A basket play by John Franco. So Harris is gone. Are the Astros gone? Let's talk to Bill Pito. Billy, what do you have?
All right, Chris. Ken Caminiti is the tying run. There's a man aboard. He homered earlier. He's got 3 home runs in the series. Facing John Rocker. Could it be? Well, no. Atlanta beats the Stros to advance to the NLCS for the 8th straight year. That's the last baseball game in the history of the Astrodome, the final. 7-5 Atlanta.
A valiant comeback by the Stros, but, you know, I can't say I'm surprised that the Braves are in the NLCS. There's something about that team. Well, lots of things about that team. Who will join them? Tony Womack got credit with a hit in the 8th on a ball misplayed by Alfonso and ended up scoring the go-ahead run to make it 3-2 on the double down the line by Jay Bell. Good pitch by Franco, Ray. 1-1.
Boy, he's pumped. He's normally in the 87-88 range. He's up around 90-91 today, so tell me his adrenaline's not flowing.
Strike 2. Crowd up. We'll do it again. Foul back toward the Met dugout. So Womack with that ruling of a base hit. 1 for 4, 2 for 17, and the 2-base error in the 8th inning in right field on Olerud. It allowed the Mets to tie it. There will be better days, perhaps right here, for the young man from Danville, Virginia. Bunch of 2s on the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Little chopper. Ventura. Olerud. The Diamondbacks are gone in the 10th. And we head to the bottom of the 10th with Ventura leading off. And what about John Franco after all these years of the postseason becoming a defensive wizard?
Bill Denny here to announce the arrival of the Early Bird Special. RV Supercenter has received record-breaking numbers of motorhomes, trailers, and fifth wheels from the biggest names in the industry. Right now, you receive early bird dollars toward your purchase valued up to $2,000 off your bid, and that's a lot of worms. RV Supercenter offers special financing with on-the-spot approval for both new and used RVs. Don't let this special fly away. Take Highway 60 to Mesa Drive and look for the RVs.
1, 2, 3, 4!
Only Checker features Autolite lifetime warranted starters and alternators with free 24-month roadside service. And try our Prolong engine treatment, the ultimate in protection and performance, just $19.99. More brands, more parts. Checker, the place to start for parts.
Chris Berman, Ray Knight, Buck Martinez. Glad you could join us here as we've reached the bottom of the 10th at Shea Stadium. You gotta believe, say the fans, that the Mets in their first postseason in 11 years will win their first postseason series in 13 years. The Diamondbacks trying to stave off elimination. Rally caps around Shea Stadium on a real nice early October Saturday afternoon. Robin Ventura, Todd Pratt, Darrell Hamilton coming up. We're all at the crux of that 8th inning, that wild and woolly 8th inning that we'll be talking about for a while. Buck, any moves?
Well, Chris, I'm down here in the dugout now. I moved down to the camera bay, and Mike Piazza's got his thumb so heavily wrapped, I don't see any way in the world he can pinch hit in this situation. So that's one bat that Buck Showalter doesn't have to worry about.
There it is. Boy, it's almost like he's wearing a glove. Just hope it's all right for tomorrow. Doesn't look great from this angle. Thank you, Buck. Robin Ventura doubled in the 4th inning. Gets under this one. Going out is Bell. Womack makes the play. So 1 out in the 10th. Billy Pito.
All right, Chris, Cleveland and Boston underway from Fenway. Cleveland up 2-0. Ramon Martinez on the hill. Made only 4 starts during the regular season, coming back from arm surgery. Looked good there. Manny Ramirez calls strike 3. Zip, zip, bottom 1 right now from Fenway.
All right, Billy, thank you. Ramon Martinez trying to give the Martinez family a win here for the Red Sox against Cleveland. Pretty tight game, I think, today. Up at Fenway, late afternoon. Todd Pratt, 0 for 4. And a 53-footer for ball 1. Manti now working in his 3rd inning, came on with two outs in the 8th. So this will be as long as, oh, that's hit well to center field. Finley goes back. It's over. It's over. Todd Pratt, one of the most unlikely heroes, has hit it to dead center field. The Mets have won it in 10, 4-3. The amazing 1999 New York Mets continues. 8 days ago, they had no way to get in the postseason. They win a playoff. They beat Randy Johnson. They lose Mike Piazza. Yet they win the 2 games here at home without Piazza. And the man who replaced him hits a home run in the 10th inning. And the man that waited so long to get in the postseason gets the win, John Franco. 30 years after the 69 amazing Mets spin their magic, here come the 99 Mets.
Well, Todd, they said that you weren't Mike Piazza, but on that stroke you look like him. Tell us how you feel right now.
I'm just tired. I had a couple chances during the game today, driving some runs. I didn't get the job done. Our team, our pitching did a hell of a job. You know, it's just awesome feeling right now, you know.
Todd, after Manti bounced the curveball, were you sitting dead red?
I was sitting dead red. Hell, they batted before. They hit one hopper to him. I got that one up, and I just got enough of it. You know, Steve Finley usually grabs that ball, but thank God today.
What about Al Leiter, what he's done for you this last week?
He's a big game pitcher. You know, he didn't have the record or the season he wanted, but hell, we're going to play the Braves.
You know what it's like for John Franco. He's a big part of this team, and he picks up the win, and maybe the biggest win this organization has had in a long time.
I'm so proud of Johnny. Came in, 2 strikes. Johnny Oldroot, clutch hitting today. Just everybody, man. We came through so many diversities, and now we're going.
Go enjoy your teammate.
All right, thanks a lot.
He thought that ball was caught.
He did. I saw him pull up there. I wasn't sure either until Finley brought it down with nothing in it. What a great game. What a great series. Place is rocking. He said, bring on the Braves, didn't he?
Yes, he did. So, in many ways, the NLCS that so many have anticipated. Mets, Braves. Now center stage in the National League. Let's not forget these valiant Arizona Diamondbacks, but it's the Mets moment. And what a week, Buck Martinez, for the New York Mets. You're with some of the heroes.
All right, Chris. Bobby Valentine, this team has shown character all year long. You got a great start from Leiter. Moore throws a guy out at the plate. Cedeno with the sac fly. The extra men had quite a day here today.
Yeah, character's all character. This is a character here with character. He got us in that game, kicked us in the game. The bullpen came in, gave up 1 run with 1 hit. Big deal. They were strong the whole time. It's a good group of guys led by Al Leiter.
Al, you told me Todd Pratt would be fine today. Boy, did he ever come up big.
It's got to be storybook. Everybody talking about Piazza being out, and of course we miss Mike a great deal, but I'm so happy for Todd. He called a great game, and then for him to come up with the big hit, unbelievable.
You know what it's like to play in the postseason. How about John Franco picking up the W today?
So happy for him. Obviously a big inning, and he got through it, and that helped us win it. I'm happy.
Bobby Valentine 1 step out of the way now. Now you can enjoy this game and not worry about what's ahead for you.
Well, I'm worried about it, but I got a great group of guys. Todd Pratt. Mike Piazza will be back. Todd Pratt's always there, along with Ricky Henderson. And I mean, it's just a great group of guys. They were wonderful. They did it for the fans in New York and for the ownership of this team, Steve Phillips, and for themselves, because they deserve it.
Congratulations.
Thanks. So next date for this amazing Mets team will be Tuesday night in Atlanta. Ray, you've been here. You were part of some great games here, which, by the way, the Mets now are perfect 5 for 5 every time they've had a chance to close out a postseason series on their home field. Unlikely heroes, but then again, it's been an unlikely last 8 days for the New York Mets.
Well, that's why they have 25 men on those rosters, and as you saw, Benitez come in, did a great job. Franco, a great job, held it down. A guy that never makes mistakes. Alfonso did not come up with a play, but again, it's a game of redeeming features. They played outstanding baseball. Cookie Rojas got thrown out of a game on a ball that he thought was a fair ball. It didn't work out their way. Then Todd Pratt, who'd have thought Todd Pratt, coming into this season, 13 major league home runs, and here he is, a hero at a time that he'll never, ever forget.
So the Mets, for the second time in a week, opened the bottles of bubbly. My goodness, that bill will skyrocket. For a moment, let's go to Bill Pito.
All right, Chris, thank you very much. Dramatics at Shea today is the Mets.